We're getting welcome, welcome. It is for you, COP28. And here are our partners. Welcome to today's show. And it is for you. We're flying, we're flying. Welcome, 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 welcome. So nice to see you. Welcome to all of us. Live from Pakistan, my friend and colleague, Sadaf Khalid. Thank you for being here on the show today. And we're collecting stories. Today
Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. I'm Sadaf Khalid, hosting from Islamabad, Pakistan. The 6th day of COP28, which is happening in Dubai. Hi, Inger. How are you? How are you feeling today? What's happening?
Oh, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great. We are collecting stories. We're collecting stories. The team is working around the clock for our friends from Kenya, our friends from London, and we're kind of getting the team together. And we are flying all over the world on Zoom or on StreamYard as we are using. We are on 10 different channels on social media, and we are reaching people.
Exactly. So yesterday was also a very interesting day, Inger. What were your takeaways from yesterday? We had live from Sri Lanka, the story of the 1 billion projects by the Rotary. We had guests coming in. We had Yuri from Italy, the media perspective, how media is playing an important role for climate change. So what were your takeaways from yesterday, Inger, before we start the session for today?
Really, my dear friend, it is the creative, collaborative culture, how we can work together across climate zones, across different parts of the planet, and we come together as one. It sounds like a cliche, but we are one when it comes to climate change. For me, it's the creative capital. How can we get people to work together and to be with an open heart and to embrace in the chaos, we navigate and see connections and opportunities, So creativity, as of today as well, we're going to focus on creativity and a culture for of innovation, I would say. What about you?
Well, yeah, my takeaway, I mean, it's really interesting. When we started this, when we, Richard, David, you, when we started talking about it, when you asked me to join this campaign, and that's what I was speaking it on with Andrea with my interview, is that, what made me be part of this whole campaign is that I really like the slogan, it's for you, it's for me, it's for everyone. So we are, for the online viewers, we're giving this global platform. It's totally free. We're not even charging you. Just sign up. We are showcasing this live campaign for COP28, which is happening in Dubai. We keep saying COP28, it's not only Dubai, it's in your home, in your cities, in your communities, in your countries. So I'm going to share the agenda for today for our first session, Inger. Today, our first guest, distinguished guest, is joining us all the way from Las Vegas.
Yes.
I'm excited to share her story. She's a member of the Rotary Club. She's been part of the Rotary Club since 5 years, and she's been able to do a project for tree plantations and beach cleanup. And we're going to be hearing her story. So let's hear her wonderful story. And we have a segment called, which is Ultimate Book of Trees. So for all the viewers who want to share, everybody has a story regarding tree plantation or trees. Share it with us, and we'll give you this global platform, the campaign that we are running called It's for You, It's for Me, It's for Everyone. Ingrid,
Absolutely.
are you
And
ready for another video, or should we welcome our distinguished guest?
we are ready to welcome our distinguished guest, but I'd like to say that in half an hour, we're also going to zoom into Stockholm afterwards, and it's going to be a prism and the voice of the artist to come to have the creative activities and how we can navigate in listening to news. So also tune in to that in half an hour afterwards, because that is also important. Creativity and stories to share. So let's fly over to Las Vegas. Take a lead then. Lead us, Sadaf. You are.
Sadaf Khalid, the host for today's session. We are running a campaign, It's for You, which is happening in Dubai from 1st to 12th December for COP28. It's conference of all the parties. I welcome my dear guest, Barbara, all the way from Las Vegas, from USA. She's a member of the Rotary Club. She's been involved in tree plantation projects and beach cleanup. She's an activist, and she's very active in environmental projects. Hi, Barbara. Welcome to the It's For You campaign.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Okay, so kindly introduce your professional background and the amazing projects that you're involved through Rotary Club International Las Vegas Club.
Okay, hi, my name is Barbara Castro, and I currently live in Las Vegas. And I have been a part of the Las Vegas Rotary Club for almost 3 years now. Before that, prior, I was a part of the Rotary Club in Illinois. I now currently work in the solar industry. My passion for the environment is what led me there. And so since I have really been inspired by everyone around me, from the younger generation to people like Sadaf, who has just been very active in the environment, trying to do everything that she can amongst others. It's really inspired me to keep going, along with my children, who inspire me daily to be active in my community and just do everything that I can. So as of right now, I do work in the solar industry, and that is because I feel now more than ever we need to go to our nature, right? I mean, I don't understand, and I don't know why we continue to use fossil fuels. They're not forever. We have our sun, we have our wind, and that's never going to go away. So now more than ever, I think we should be using our renewables. And so I just really hope that we can move forward within that. And so I do everything that I can daily to try to promote that, and within my daily life and within my profession.
That's amazing. And your children, how do they find you working in this way, and do they know why you're doing it?
They do. It's very, very sweet. Whenever my son, you see him in the background there, whenever he talks about me or announces me to anybody that he meets, he talks about Rotary, and he talks about what I do for the environment and how I volunteer and build houses in Mexico. And it's just, they're my passion. They're the reason why I live. They motivate me amongst other younger generations. And this is their future, right? This is their planet. And I feel like it's only our responsibility to leave it better than when we got here. And they inspire me every day. And their smiles and their laughs is obviously what keeps me motivated. And they do say, and they show me daily how they are proud, and they know what's going on. Kids know. The younger generation knows. I'm inspired by them daily. They actually motivate me daily, especially that Greta Thunberg. She is actually the one who motivated me the most, actually. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, she did. When I first heard about her, I was so inspired. This one, I think she was 15 years old at the time, just sitting there at the parliament, like just begging someone to just hear her. And, and she made a movement that scientists have been saying they've been trying to do for decades, and she did it. And so, it's pretty inspiring, this younger generation.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. And before we hear more about what you do, just on that note about kind of the inspiration, what we want to do with this It's For You over these 12 days of COP is really for people to know, no matter what happens out of the conversations between the governments, and sometimes they can be very frustrating, they can seem like they never go and say the right things, that people everywhere are doing lots like you along. So what words of advice would you have for people who may be just on the edge of thinking, should I take some action or not? Is it worth my while? What words of advice might you give to them?
My advice to them is to keep going. I feel once you start to do it, you really feel good inside, and it doesn't matter how much it is. It could be something little, just something little in your community. It doesn't matter what it is, something little, starting a trash cleanup in your community. If you're at school and you're in high school, college, you're in you're a CEO of your company, or you're at a restaurant, you see something that you're not okay with, or you think that we can do better, just say something. What I've learned is that people want to hear you. They want, and even if they don't, they may look away, or they may just like, it's another person coming and trying to like make change. But people do hear you, and people do want to hear you. And the little action that one person can do, it really can go a long way. It doesn't matter how much it is. It's a little bit of change can go so far.
That's amazing to hear, that last bit about how, a step, no matter how small, in the right direction can actually go a long way. I think that's really, really positive and encouraging. So that's amazing. So would you like to tell us a little bit about the projects you've been up to? I know you've got some photos, if you want to go through them as well, and we can bring them up. And
yeah, sure. If you want to bring them up, I can just talk a little bit about them if you like, or
where should I start?
So the bottom one there, the very, very bottom, was actually the first tree planting that I wanted to do. So yes, this one right here. So when I first joined Rotary in the Rotary Club of Las Vegas, I had met a couple Rotarians. I was, I was new to Las Vegas. And I just joined this Rotary Club. And so, I was just talking to people, kind of seeing where everyone was at. And I met a Rotarian who was very passionate about the environment as well. And so I invited her to coffee. And so we started talking about things they've done, they used to do a long time ago. And she said they used to plant trees a long time ago for past presidents. And I was like, really? I was like, wow. I was like, why don't we bring that back? And she's like, well, we can try, and she's like, well, I have an idea. Why don't we maybe present something to the board? And I was like, okay, well, how do we go about doing that? Because I felt when I joined my club, there wasn't very many things that we did in Rotary that was like environmentally. I know it was the 7th area of focus, but it was fairly new. And so I just kind of wanted to do something more than we kind of were already doing. So I said, oh, why don't we maybe try to bring the tree planting back of a past president? So when I joined the Rotary Club in Las Vegas, the president at that time was very welcoming to that. He thought it was a great idea. And so actually Sadaf was actually with me at the time, actually was saying, oh, what should I put on this plaque? Because I wanted to, what I think with plaques also that are great when you plant a tree, the significant is that is a lot of people don't know what Rotary is. They've never heard about Rotary. They don't know what Rotary is. They've never heard of it. So I thought, well, if we have a plaque there, then we can promote Rotary to kids. When they see that tree, they're going to ask their parents, what's Rotary, mom? And the mom or dad are going to look it up. They're going to like, oh, that's Rotary. We didn't know what that was. And then the kids are going to know in that school, wow, they planted a tree for us. They're going to know that we care about them. They're going to know we care about their future, and they're going to invest maybe a little bit more time in Rotary or their parents. So along with giving that tree to that school, they also can kind of, know and understand what a tree does and how the benefits of trees do for our environment. And then also what Rotary is and what we've done over the past 100 years.
That's amazing. I love that phrase. You got that trees give peace to the soul of humanity.
And Sadaf was actually here when I'd asked her about that, and she saw that and she's like, yeah, I think that's great. So I really do give a lot of this to Sadaf. She's just amazing, and she's definitely one who inspires me as well.
Yeah, one of the things we want to promote over these for you is this idea of a book of trees. Mm-hmm. And rather than like a botanical book of trees, this is a book of personal stories of trees. Mm-hmm. So that you can have, like the tree that you have a picture of that, a brief kind of botanical description, the type of tree, when this was, but really to fill it with that personal story. So, and just on one page kind of thing, and drop that with a Facebook group called It's For You.Earth. And there's a chat in there called the Book of Trees. Just drop it into there, and if you want to, talk to kids and other people and say if they want to do that. And the idea is we actually end up with a book of trees, a book of our personal stories, as you have there, because the trees are not just things with green things on top of it outside somewhere. They are part of kind of our real association, right?
They really are. You're right about that for sure. Mm-hmm.
And so that's a amazing story. So where else do we?
Yeah, so there is another. If you go to the very top there, the very above the tree planting that I just, that one right there. So the woman next to me is Marie Walsh. Here in Las Vegas, we sponsor 6 schools. They are in the lower end of the community, so they're. The schools there, they can't really afford much. So Rotary does a lot for those schools. We offer them grants. We do breakfast with books. We do very, very many things for these schools. And so Marie Walsh has been she's played a huge role at one of the schools that we sponsor. And so she was actually leaving Rotary because she was going to go be with her family. So I really wanted to plant a tree in her honor before she left. And this school was a school that she had committed herself for almost 12 years. And so I thought, what better way to send a thank you than a tree planted in her name at a school that she put a lot of time and effort into. And so that's her right there. That's a tree that we planted there. And the woman next to me is the principal there, who's very lovely. And she's she kept that tree protected throughout the summer, and it's growing wonderfully now. It's really, really beautiful. It's flourishing. And so that's the picture of right there in that one.
That's amazing as well. We had a conversation yesterday with a lady in India who's very much into education, and she has this program of kind of accelerated learning. And the way she talks about it is, learning about education, kind of a good sense is kind of where we start with understanding our own identity alone, and to have a tree in the presence of that kind of transformation of the children.
Right.
And to have that
Yeah,
tree
exactly.
representing someone who has been contributing to it for such a long time. It's such a really, really, really nice. I'm beginning to understand what you mean by a small step can go a very long way.
Yeah, that's it right there. And and it was the younger generation that inspired me to do that, to just, and Greta Thunberg, just when she showed true courage by just not going to school and just saying like, look, like, please help me. Like, I feel like I should be in school and I'm not. I'm here like trying to just ask for you guys to step up to the plate and be responsible of us. And so the fact that she made such a huge movement, and it was just one 15-year-old girl, I was like, wow, well, if she could do something, there should be something that I can do. It doesn't matter how big, how small, something little, something big, no matter what it is, no matter where you're at in life, a little change can go a long way. It doesn't matter like what it is. So
that's great. And you capture one thing which I think is often misunderstood about Greta, is when you say, she's really saying, help me to go back to school.
Right.
Go and take that step yourself so that I can go back to school. I think that's the part where, she's not saying I reject the learning. It's saying I'm concerned about where I'm learning and what I'm taking to, and I need you to come and help and take that step so that I can go back to school and do that for our children.
Exactly. And she's, and she's also saying, like, why go to school if I'm not going to have a future? If I'm not going to have a planet to where I can actually have a school to go to, why go? Why invest so much time into something that's not going to exist because no one's caring about our climate and our planet, and we see it daily with our world changing significantly. We see our planet, we see everything that's going on all around the world. So, and so it can be very like, it can be a little frustrating for someone like that, but look at the movement that she's made. It's so amazing. It really is.
Yeah, and what you've done as well is also amazing. I think you bring in this element, and you talk about the head of the school next to you also, how she's maintained the tree and nurtured it. And we had another conversation with a gentleman who was working to regenerate the rainforest, and he says, trees, they're not like babies you leave out in the backyard and say, come back in 20 years when you're grown. You have to nurture them. You do have to look after them, and to do that in the school, which is where you're also concerned about the children and the future they have, that they can grow together.
Rotary is very passionate about education, right? Literacy, but it's, for me, it's all those things are very important, right? They're very important. But once again, like to go back to Greta's point, none of those things matter. School doesn't matter. Education doesn't matter if no one has a school to go to, because of the hazards that are happening because of climate change. I mean, I shared a picture with my board, actually. The next picture over, to the one that you just shared is the beach cleanup that we also did just recently. That one right there. So how that started is I went to the board, the same thing. And I had said, like, I feel like we need more environmental projects. Like we had the trash cleanup, we have, there's, I think it's like 2 or 3 times a year or something like that. But I just feel like that wasn't enough. And so I went to the board and kind of presented to them kind of a scenario, and me and actually the Rotarian that I had coffee with that told me about that they used to plant trees for the past presidents like 15 years ago. Me and her both went to the board, and we brought pictures of our kids or she doesn't have kids, but she had foreign exchange students that she had at her house, and I have 2 kids. So we had told people of the board, we were asked them, like, can you take a picture of a child, whether it's your niece, your nephew, your daughter, your grandchild, just bring a picture out of your child. And I had 2 pictures of my kids, and she had brought a picture of her foreign exchange students. And I said, at the end of the day, I want to look at my child and say, my children, and say that I did everything that I could to help. If it's as bad as the scientists are say it's gonna be, if we don't make some change, I want to be able to look at them and say that I tried. And so I'd ask the board, please look at those children and say that you, at the end of this, will try your best to do what you can to make some type of change. So that way, if something was to happen, you could say, I did try to make a change and I did everything that I could. And so one of the members of the board, his name was Mike, and he heard me, and and he presented to the board, like he presented this trash cleanup or this beach cleanup. We don't have a beach here in Las Vegas, but we do have a lake. They call it the beach for some reason. I don't know why, but they do. And so he had said, why don't we do like a beach cleanup? And so after we'd went to the board, and they thought that was a great idea. And so now every year we have a beach cleanup, and it's every May. And now we added that to the projects that we do every year. And that was because of just something that I had said to the board, that they took one person. One person was like, wow, I think, like, I like what she's saying. I like what they're saying. Let's maybe try. And so now we do this every year. So I guess, like, my point is that, some people may like it, some people may not. There's a lot of people that are just like, oh, can you just stop already, or they want to just keep going the way we've been going. They don't want anything to mess up their foundation, their life, or they're too scared. A lot of people are scared. They're scared of change. They're scared of reality or what's going to happen. And so they rather look away instead of going forward and to face it head on. But a lot of people don't understand, if you face it head on, if you face the reality, you face the fears, you face of what you think could happen, if you actually make some type of change in that, you're going to feel so much better inside. My fear has always been climate. And now that I'm facing that, I'm not scared of it. I'm actually going head on and knowing it's real, knowing it's a reality, and just trying to do everything that I could to make some type of change. You're not going to be scared anymore. You're going to feel like powerful in a way, because you're doing something to stop that from happening.
Yes, I
would like to add in, Barbara, the amazing work that the Rotary International clubs are doing. Imagine, Rotary has a huge network all across the globe, in underdeveloped countries, developed countries. If they start climate environmental projects, as you mentioned about the tree plantation, beach cleanups, imagine the triple effect through education, because I know that Rotary, I was a member of the Rotary Club of Nottingham in UK, and we were recycling Christmas trees. So there's so much through Rotary networks we can do. It's amazing, and we should encourage people to join Rotary all across the world and start these projects. And it will be quite like for the environment, for our kids, as you say, for our future generations. We have to work together as a team and save our planet Earth. Yes, Barbara.
Absolutely.
I just want to throw that out there. This was, from what you were saying, it just prompted me to one thing that we saw before, and we were doing before, was this thing where we took this from the time of Second World War, and this is a picture at the time when it was sort of the prompting of the young children asking Daddy, what did you do during the Great War? In fact, this is the First World War.
Oh, wow.
And we just thought, for myself and Richard, who are who are rethinking choices that are part of This Is For You, we just thought this part, and this is why we're motivated, is our children asking and saying, well, this is what we did. This is the step we took. We can't say how it will turn out, but we took the step, we connected together. And for us, what we were talking about was we did it for the things that give us joy, and you the thing that give us joy. And that's the message that we want to give to them. And we wanted them to know that they're not left alone to face this. So which is, I think, very much what you're expressing. And the part where you talk of just accepting the truth of it, which is the changes are coming, the changes are here. And, the head in the sand may keep you hoping that they will go away, but it's not as empowering as simply taking that step. And I love that story of actually saying, once you accept that, you become empowered. The fear just dissolves away. It lets you go forward. And then the great thing about it is, I'm going to switch over to the file that the pictures that you have, and as you say, you can talk to your kids about it. Which is really great, because being able to talk to your kids about it, and for them to be a part of it and know that this is where it is.
Yeah, I actually have I think that picture right here, actually the third one. The third picture right there is that's we planted another tree at one of our other schools that we sponsor. I think I've planted a tree at all the schools that we sponsor so far. I think there's one more left that we haven't planted yet, or two. But the kids love it. Like, they love it. They loved being out there, taking they love trees. They love knowing why we plant them. Who we're dedicating it to. And obviously, I dedicate it to someone because I want to kind of, just give that, because the people that I dedicate to, they really, really do deserve it. They contribute so much to Rotary and to these kids that you see there in this picture. But also these kids, they are why, and this is why I plant these trees. It's for them. It's for their future. And when they look at it and they sit there and they walk by it and they just appreciate it, it's such a warm, awesome feeling. And they all went past the tree. They all took a picture next to it, and that's just everything for me to see them, because it is for them. And then, so the picture next to this one, though, those are my children, and I take them, the fourth one there, yeah, those are my babies. And that was the first tree that we planted, and I take them to all the trees that I get to plant, because I want them to know that we're doing this for them, and they're my passion, my motivation. And I hope and pray that that we can keep doing this for our children and for our future generations, because in the end, it's our responsibility.
That's just so fantastic.
Hi, Inger. Are you there with me?
I am, my dear. I am.
Wow, what a story. What do you think?
No, it is exactly what it is. We're planting for the future. We're planting for our children. We're engaging around the globe, and this bigger stories and narrative of the blue planet and the green footprint on land, but also in sea. The mangrove trees is planting with their feet in the salt water, and can tolerate. It's like a buffer towards the big waves, and it's for the farmers, the fish farmers, etc. The seaweeds, the kelp. It's a lot of planting going on, so it's exciting. But we are ready to really be diving into our creativity and to work on the collaborative culture and to see how we can understand better the news. So I think are we ready to travel to Stockholm, Gothenburg? I think we are.
Yeah.
Look at them. They are on live on Zoom with all the people. I can see my name is also in Gothenburg. It's amazing to be on Zoom and being live in multiple places at the same time. It's you know, I really love the story from Las Vegas, and thank you for bringing us to Las Vegas, Sadaf, and also thank you to David Coe for interviewing our Rotary friend in Las Vegas, and of course, connecting the dots. That is connecting us back to Sri Lanka and all the things that's going on with planting of trees. And of course, in Gothenburg, we also have green Green Cross and all the work that my friend Tonya Moyo has done for years out of Gothenburg. We have a creative artist, so we are cool to connect a creative bridge between Norway and Sweden, I would say. So I can see Timothy from Kenya is live from Gothenburg, from Kenya to Gothenburg, flying in. David Coe is live, and we are ready to fly. So let's share and invite people to come and join us on It's For You. So join us now from Gothenburg, and I see it's 10:30 London time, but of course we are 1 hour ahead, so it's 11:30 in Central European time, and we are ready.
Yes, sorry. And I think that Sveining is also with us at the moment. Thanks to all of you who could join us today, and really happy that we could rearrange our plans in order to make this happen so it suits all of you. We have Sveinung, you have been in contact with Inger, I think, about this particular opportunity, right?
Correct.
And normally Sveinung would be in my position right now, but he's on his way to a meeting, and he could join us for a while, and he will after this meeting he will continue the Prism, right, Svein?
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Great.
I'm a little bit late here. It's a little bit.
No worries. I think we're still waiting for a part of the group, the World Climate School. They are sort of rearranging from a session. Yeah, I think we have a bit of a shaky connection with you there.
It is very often like that, but let me play some music.
Towards the environment.
With who?
Yeah, nature is alive and nature has feelings.
Okay, so someone can't hear us.
You are human and just stop being the reason.
Both of you.
Inga?
Yes.
And Sadaf, please join via the Zoom session on the bit.ly/isforyou_Prism. Prism cannot hear you while you can hear them. So you need to join them on the Zoom link. If you join them on the Zoom link, then you'll be able to be part of it. If you stay in StreamYard, then they cannot hear you.
This is the problem, yes.
So if I remove you from StreamYard, if you now join on the Zoom link, if you just click on the Zoom link I'm giving you in our setup.
You know, I will join you, and I will stay here, and I will come there. I'm flying over to the Gothenburg.
And Sadaf too, from Pakistan to Gothenburg, it will be a really amazing flight.
David, can you send me the Zoom link on my WhatsApp? I'll join from my phone.
Okay, I will do that.
In the meantime, for the viewers, don't get confused. We're just zooming in different sessions parallel. We're running the campaign. It's for you, which is happening in Dubai from 1st to 12th December. And let's hear some interesting conversation all the way to Gothenburg. So stay tuned, and we'll be showcasing the conversation from there. Inger, over to you.
Well, we can pass it on to Sven, who can introduce that, because we are able to hear from him. So I'm just going to give you the whole screen. Sven.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, over to you.
Yes, I can make you a host.
Okay, thank you. So welcome. This is really interesting because this is for me very exciting and organic. The way things are happening at COP there, and I like that in the world of many problems we have now. It's a multifaceted.
You're a little bit faint, Sven. I don't know if you can raise your volume in a little bit.
Can I? Let me see here.
We can hear you, but a little bit faint.
Oh yeah, it's better now, isn't it?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
That's
much better now.
Yeah,
Yeah, much clearer.
good. Okay, so what I was saying, this is very exciting because in such a complex problem that we are facing now, we need organic solutions. There's no silver bullet for this thing coming up. This climate, the 2030 goals and 2050. This is something we need to attack in a different way. So we, as bards for climate, we want to step into the circle as bards, as artists, speak with use our way of listening, our way of working, and our way of contributing, which is different from the technical side of things. So what we're I think artists have a role to play in that we can see connections and opportunities in chaos. And what we stand in front of now is a identity crisis. We need to reshift the post-empire world. We need to reshift the money flow. We need to get off the oil and the fossil fuel, and this will challenge us deeply in our identities. Not least in my home country, Norway. Yeah. So can you two? Okay. Yeah. Okay, I can admit them. Yeah, sure. Sienna. Hello. So so you didn't hear the first part there, or did you, Ingmata? Doesn't really matter. Let's get to the point. So what we're trying to do today is active listening. Bards for us is being artistic, not being owned by other people. This is free art. We're free, but we want to be constructive. We want to be helpful in the climate situation. We want to bring something, a third perspective, a different angle, see with our eyes. This is part of the underlying thing of being a bard for us. We believe that we can contribute with a different perspective, and this is what we challenge ourselves with, and today also you. So what we will do today, in practical terms, is with our values, with our artistic skill set, and within the time frame that we have, listen to a talk from COP28, actively make notes, listen for what strikes you, be subjective, use your skills and your listening skills, and then we will make an art piece within the time frame based on what we've heard. It could be inspired by what we heard, inspired by what we've seen, inspired by your emotions. But it's important to be helpful and constructive in the result. So there's three audiences in our thinking. One is you. You are an audience for your own art. And then there's the audience when you post it on Instagram. There's the audience of the wider world, but there's also the audience of the speaker actually presenting. We want to feed back to them because we feel that there's something lacking in the discussion sometimes. This is an emotional aspect. So we need to take the technical and make it understandable and emotional in the right way. So this is briefly the motivation behind it. So we want to. Part of the process is to publish it. So when you make your art piece, do it in a way so that it's possible to publish in some way, both in terms of messaging, but also in terms of mainly messaging. So you keep that in your mind. So we'll meet back at 3:00, and then we'll present for each other, and then we'll post online and tag us. And there is in the WhatsApp group, there is a kind of a recipe for this from Marcus as to how you tag. There are some certain hashtags and mention you have to do for us to see it and repost it. So if you can see that in the WhatsApp group, that is perfect. Let us know if you can't see it. Okay. So we're now in Gothenburg. I'm a film composer. Marcus is also in Gothenburg. He's a musician, songwriter, and engineer in the studio. So we'll be prisming from our side here also during this afternoon. And we're thinking now we should show some of our previous prisms. This is dangerous because artistically we want to be free. So what you see now are examples. They are not things that you should do or not do. These are just guidelines and things that we've been inspired to do. So please listen, look at them in the way that's helpful for you, not as this is what we expect from you. This is not school. We're not doing things as an exercise. It's a kind of homework. This is for real. Okay. So we need your subjectivity and your art form and your eyes. Okay. Marcus, Aurelius.
Yes, thank you. I think you need to make me host in order for me to.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Because did I claim that? How do I?
No, I made you host because I. Yes, you're currently host.
So I can make like that.
Yes, I'm the host now. Thank you. Okay, great.
I'll just mute my mic here.
Yeah. Okay. Can you all hear me? Yes. Thank you. So yeah, just like Sven said, I'm a music producer, but I've also been involved in as a teacher at universities in life cycle assessment courses, which is a method for monitoring all sorts of environmental sort of environmental impact from products, services, or organizations. So I have sort of this double sort of background with both the artistic or the aesthetic subjects, but also the science subjects. So for me, this is very emotional and a very emotional way to deal with these questions that I've been dealing with a lot before in another field of sort of another field of climate awareness, so to speak. So I'm going to show you a few. I'm just going to show you snippets because some of these are very long, but I will just start with a dance by someone who prismed the last year's meeting. And yes, can you all see? Can you see a dancer standing there? Great. Okay, so here we go. This is done in silence, by the way, so there's no music. So this was a meditational piece by Amanda Westby. And I will change to another very different prism.
By the way, while Marcus is setting that up, these are all available from the Instagram Prisms of Bards, which is available on our website. You can, I recommend you looking at our website to get more information. It's called bardsforclimate.com. I'll put it in the chat.
So this is from COP27, the next one.
You need to share the audio as well.
Oh, you can't hear the audio?
No.
Okay, maybe I'll just so none of you can hear the audio, right? It's not only Sven.
Are so violent. We are so violent. Because why are so violent? Why are we so violent? We are so violent. Why are so violent? Why?
Should we just show one more and then we can move on to the today's thing? Yeah.
So it's important to acknowledge that while the Cerrado is mostly threatened by soil expansion for its biodiversity, for its water and other environmental services, the Amazon is threatened by its carbon emissions. 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 The Amazon is threatened by its carbon emissions.
Burn, 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 running a fever. We're running in circles, but where are you? Heartbeat disaster, moving faster. The earth is running a fever, but where are you? I can't get through.
The Amazon is threatened by its carbon emissions. The Amazon is threatened by its carbon emissions. The Amazon is threatened by its carbon emissions. The
Good. So what do we do today? We have picked out one thing today that could be we will prism together, and we're going to prism the same thing to get different perspectives on the same matter, and we'll present that. How we could probably put that in the WhatsApp afterwards as a YouTube link. Any questions from you guys now at this stage? Yes.
This is Inga in Norway. I think it's interesting to just zoom into Sweden and Gothenburg, and what I can hear on the background noise from you, Sveinung, is that you are in a cafe. I can listen to noises, people drinking coffee. It's like an everyday activity, so it makes me think that what we are going to be presented now with the Prism is like a speed technique to do emotional reflection as artists do, and that is cool. So I can see that you have to unmute yourself.
So this is very interesting because intuition is a friend, and to be this fast we have to be today, it's being intuitive, right? So it's going with the first idea within your values, what you want to see and what you want to say based on what you're hearing. It can be text, it can be a dance, it could be a song, it could be a picture series, it could be something you grab from the live stream, either in audio and video format. It can be anything. It's important it's you, because we're not seeking objectivity here, we're seeking subjectivity, but value-based subjectivity, right? So we have enough objectivity. We know the reports, most of us know them. That's not the problem. The problem is emotional connection. So that's what we're trying to achieve. Okay. And you will be confused here. I can feel that. But that's good. Embrace the confusion, embrace it, and lean forward. It's not a problem. It's not the end of the world. This is not the end of the world. The climate is the end of the world, but not this art form. So get a perspective and just do it.
One thing that we have talked about is, sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, one thing that we talked about throughout the years is the perception of the meeting varies a lot depending who you are in your background and why you're tuning in to the meetings. And I think that is also something that could be reflected, because when you're being honest with how you perceive the meeting that you're looking at, that's when you can sort of create something pure, I think. So if you are confused by what you're hearing, and if you don't understand what you're hearing, please let that be shown in what you create, because that's also part of the issue. I mean, this is one of the these webcasts can be seen all over the globe by anyone, and the way they choose to portray them sorry, the important subjects they are talking about, that's also something that could be described by you in your art form.
Exactly. So that's Tim. Do you did you have a question since you unmuted?
Yes, I did. And I must say, it's an interesting thing. Well, like David, I'm not gifted in this area, but just I think I tend to think from what he has shared is was on symbolism and metaphor, and my question comes in, on matters to do with intersectionality, and just to get to understand how can this art bridge gaps and connect to people with diverse backgrounds on issues related to sustainability.
I didn't quite catch the question. Was intersectionality and how this connects to that? Yeah. This is intersectionality, and this is what people in the sciences that I talk to, they complain that they are so in their silos because the amount of knowledge that goes into the different fields. They're studying very minute subjects on different areas, and overbridging things and seeing the holistic aspect is an artistic connectivity exercise. So seeing connections is actually very key to this process. And this can help some of the scientists, and can definitely help the audience. So it's connecting the dots, if you like. This dot connects to that, and oh, I didn't think about that, or yeah. If I caught that correctly, we need to make sure that everybody has enough information now. We will now share the.
I think we have a question from Sadaf.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't see that. Sorry. Oh, yeah. There's a hand there. Oh, he's been polite. Good, Sadaf.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Me and Inger are in the live session as well, so I can't open my camera. But I'm zooming in from Islamabad, Pakistan, and we are running this whole campaign. As you know, it's for you. It's a virtual event, and it's very interesting to hear this whole concept of arts and culture, how you integrate it. And I personally, in my opinion, think that any form of image relating to climate change, because our focus is climate and environment, gives a very strong message. And if it portrayed it well, it can create an impact. When we talk about arts, even if a child is drawing on a piece of paper before the technology came in, when we were growing up, our teacher used to say, oh, she has a beautiful drawing, or there's a message in there. So I think art and culture and what you're trying to do, I will go through the website later, but it's phenomenal, the technology. And my question to you guys is this: how can we introduce this, what you guys are doing in countries like Pakistan and other countries, and through training workshops? And where will all this data go? Where will it be published? And will whoever will be part of this, whoever will be contributing to this, will their data be shared, or what will be the outcome? Because I want some positive outcome.
Very good question, and very constructive, and we'll love to take the conversation further. Maybe seeing our experiences from now from COP, and having a Zoom or some kind of meetup after. That'd be great to discuss that. Sorry. Yeah. Sure. Sure. So I posted that now. Also, okay, just quickly on the data, is you posted, you own it, you are the author and owner, you posted it on your Instagram. We can help with this, but you are the owner. We repost it, and if you want to take it down, you take it down. So this is how we approach the ownership of it. And we can talk more in detail about that, but that's also partly in the document. So before we leave now, I'll post it now in the WhatsApp group, the link. We're going to Prism. We'll be back here at 3 o'clock UK time on this link, and then show us something that you thought about, or some kind of artwork. Also, yeah, we can talk more about the things there, and make sure you have all the links to our website and to our Instagram and to the documents. Ingemette, can you make sure that you can repost them in the WhatsApp? Everybody has access to the WhatsApp group, right? Good. Okay, so then we can leave it here. I think so, and do something and get back at 3 o'clock. Yeah, in 3 o'clock UK time.
David, can we stop
You're good
sharing?
people. Marcus, any things before we let them go and get the next one?
No, but very good questions.
Hi, Inger. Can you hear me? We are back live on our It's For You campaign that we're running for COP28, which is happening from 1st to 12th December. We have a guest. Let me welcome him. Hi, Faraz. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. What about you?
I'm good. So, Iram is supposed to host your session, but I think, take it from there. So, tell us about, I'll introduce you to our audience when the music is stopped, and then we'll take the discussion from there.
Okay, sure. I think music is already running, if I'm not wrong.
Okay, so for our online viewers, our first session has come to an end. Inger, can I request you to please stop the background music? I know you're multitasking. Feel the speed of flying. Ras, and we welcome you. We're multitasking. I'm in double channel set. I'm greetings from Norway. And welcome to our 12 days of COP28. And decentralized event around the world. We're flying ideas, not people. Are you with me, Sadaf? I am, Inger. Can you stop the background music, please? Yes, I can. Over to you. Okay, thank you. Sorry, guys, technology. So our second session of the day has started. We had a very wonderful discussion story all the way from Las Vegas, the Rotary Club member talking about Ultimate Book of Trees. Then we switched in from all our years all the way. Inger, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. You're all fine and clear. Thank you.
So now we welcome our distinguished guest, Mr. Faraz Hussain, which my colleague Iram Fawad has invited him. He's a second digital marketing professional with a remarkable track record. His journey began with artificial intelligence, AI, and his passion into driving business growth through digital marketing. Hi, Faraz. How are you doing?
I'm fine, and you?
Welcome to the 12 days of COP that we are running. So tell us about your story. We were just talking about digital innovation and technology. How does AI and digital technology plays an important role for climate environmental challenges that Pakistan is facing? Tell our viewers your story and we would love to hear you. Over to you, Faraz.
Yeah, so I have been working in IT sector, digital marketing and artificial intelligence since 2017. And since then, I never looked back. And you ask about the IT and environment, I think they both are very interlinked with each other, though we think that the environment is a different thing than IT, but the effect of IT is directly on the environment, and the effect of environment is directly to the IT as well. So nowadays the AI can work for the awareness in the climate change, uh, to the common people and public, like the ChatGPT is doing. We can ask it any question regarding environment and it can give you answer. And also AI can help in the data as well. It can, train on the data which we are giving it through the Google Map and uh, other environment uh, sector, and it can train on it and give us the perfect solution for the problems we are facing, especially in the climate change nowadays.
Okay, that's wonderful. My another question for the online viewers is, I know that Karachi, you're living in Karachi, and Karachi is facing a lot of problems as we talk about plastic pollution on beach, the sewage system, the air pollution figures are quite scary. What are the youth and people like you guys doing to help through AI to combat these challenges? Because technology is the future. I would like you to answer that. Yes, Faraz.
Yeah, so there are many organizations, the NGOs, and also different private organizations who are working on the, especially on the plastic pollution you ask about. We usually go in the weekends to the seaside and other places where the plastic pollution is in huge quantity, and we try to clean it. This is what we are doing physically, but as far as IT and artificial intelligence concerns, we can put the sensors in different areas which can monitor the pollution of the city, and we would know with the help of AI that what parts of the, especially in the Karachi, are most affected by this kind of pollution, and how can we reduce or give the best solutions to tackle this kind of problem. Because there must be some areas which with higher pollution and some areas with less pollution, but maybe the government or the organizations are working on the less polluted areas, and they are not working on the uh, dense polluted areas because they don't know if they are dense or not. But with the AI and with the help of sensors and data, we can come up with this solution as well.
That's brilliant. My other question is that I was talking to, Mr. Amar Joffrey. He's the icon, and he talks about cybersecurity and technology and all those. Are there any current apps which the students have developed for climate change, which you could
Yeah.
share for the viewers? And in universities in Karachi, are they in progress? Have they launched it? And my second question to you is, when it comes to planting of trees, I just heard a project during this campaign that if you plant a tree somewhere in Sri Lanka and AI can get it, if you have planted, if I'm Sadaf and I've planted it, AI will pick it that I've planted this tree in Sri Lanka. These are the details, when it was planted, how will it grow, and all that data. So, can we introduce like similar kind of thing for Pakistan when it comes to AI and tree plantation, especially for Karachi?
Yeah, so there are many universities which are working in AI, especially for the climate change and environment. One of them is Yaudin University. I know them personally, that students are working on project, and they are putting the sensors on Sharar vessel, and they are detecting the temperature, the humidity, and different kind of data to make sure that how can we improve the environment. And there is a AI center in Karachi University which is also working on similar project. And for the plantation, yeah, we can develop the app where different kind of people who love environment, who are planting the trees, can join and share the data that how much trees they are growing. And we may also put the sensors in the trees as well, in the garden as well, to make them automated without any interaction of human, which I think may be better for not only it will reduce the cost, but it will also improve the plantation as whole as well.
That's brilliant. Now I would request my co-host Inga to join the discussion. Uh, Inga, are you there with us? Uh, ask questions from Faraz. He's a brilliant kid. He's into AI, and we're talking about technology. How can it bring change when it comes to education? Because you come from the educational background and you're active in awareness campaigns for climate change. So, your question, Inga, to Faraz.
One thing is all the questions. The other thing is, in fact, that let's look at what we can learn from each other. Based in Norway, and I've been working on an extremely beautiful project called C6, and we're working with Earth Bank in Stockholm, and of course, it's satellite surveillance of tree planting system, and they're just working on big projects in Kenya and in India, and the Earth Bank, and how we really can work together across border, because everyone wants the same thing. It is for you. So one thing is we have to break out of the silos, as the artist early on said, and how we can really um, engage youth in every city in Pakistan, every city in Norway, every city in Sweden, and we can do that by engaging the grassroots. Um, and I know even the launch of contracts of tree planting schemes in at COP28, it's huge. So and also my background, I'm not. It is all coming from my reference to the Gaia theory by James Lovelock and the possible new human, which is kind of a virtual reality tech person, but is working in partnership with artificial intelligence. We're doing it already. So the Earth Bank system is huge in Scandinavia, and we have partners with with farmers around the world, so on the grassroots level. Um, and I also working with fashion industries, and I would like to come back to that later on, and fashion and sustainability, and working with space technology to look at what's going on the ground. Um, so for you, Faraz, where's your network around the world? Do you work with anyone in Europe? Do you work with anyone in on the African continent? Where are your partners internationally to break out of the break into the circles of partnerships for the goals? Over to you, Faraz.
Yeah, I have friends in Africa, in Nigeria, and also in UK, in Germany, and in China as well. Uh, so yeah, we can work with them.
So when you look at now, I understand back in Pakistan, but if you could have a very clear message and a dream come true for your own enterprise and venture, and if you could give a message or an invitation to people in Dubai at COP28, what would your message be?
So my message would be that uh, you cannot ignore it, right? I mean, believe it or not, climate change is real, because many people think that climate change is not real, but it is real. And since you are part of this planet, you need to come together, and you need to work for your planet as well, because it's not just for you, it's for the generation which is coming after you. What what are you doing for them? Maybe after 50 years, 100 years, when your offspring look at you, they would say, okay, so what did you give them, right? So this would be my message, that come together for the betterment of this planet, because it's
Yes.
not just for you, but for your kids, which may not be here today, but it will be there tomorrow.
Absolutely, for us, it's for the future and the generations to come. But then again, we have to bring livelihood into our everyday life, and I think what we're seeing now, it's a green, creative innovation. So we will create work. We will create work for youth in Pakistan and around the globe. It's a evolution of human kind, and I see also kindness. It's an evolution of human kindness to care for each other, to care for your neighbor and the neighboring countries, and how we can empower each other in a dynamic way. And you coming from the high tech and innovational tech industry, but then it's also about creating to the softer human technology, which is the technology of the heart, and that is part of the art of having emotional connection to each other, but also to nature. And if you allow me, my dear colleague and friend in Pakistan, Sadaf, and also from you, Faraz, I will share a small clip from what we did in a partnership with youth in Europe, in Italy. And it's a creative, collaborative culture to combat climate change, and it's kind of a segue from the art story that we had with the boards of Prism. And you will see here there is using the energy of the sun to create art. And again, it's of course it's high tech at the bottom of everything that we do. So here comes I will share the screen from my YouTube channel, an international week in Italy with youngsters. So here we are. This is always a challenge when it gets into this story. Let me see. I have to remove and get back. It was like queued from the end of the video. It was just recently watched.
Oh,
I
that's
will get it back.
is Mr. Faraz, are you there with us, our guest? I think maybe he just logged off, or anyway. So I think it was an interesting discussion when it comes to technology, how technology is playing a very important role for climate awareness programs and AI. We'll be having discussions on this topic as well. And let's see. Yes, welcome back, Faraz.
Okay, I'm ready to queue. I'm sorry for it was my glitch, and sometimes it's so difficult to really have the queue the right. So let me go back to dive into the story of Oslo and the climate festival that we do is about high tech, it's about law, and it's about sharing what's important in the world. Let me play the story from Oslo.
Velkommen hit til åpningen av Salt vinterlandsby. For et fantastisk oppmøte. Det lover veldig godt for markeringen av Oslo som miljøhovedstad.
Yes, it is the stories coming around from the world. It's so
Yes, it's amazing, Inger, what technology is doing. You know, even I've started using Chat GTP, I mean, say an AI, and see how it can help, you know. But it's just all the, I mean, what I want to see people like Faraz, they're brilliant what they're doing. We want to share their story. That's the platform we are giving them. It's for you, it's for me, it's for everyone. And if technology can play the challenges, because environment challenges are huge, and as when it comes to Pakistan, and I would like to see Faraz Karachi when it rains, it drowns, you know. So I hope that I see Karachi a clean city for all of you, the beaches to be cleaned, the garbage waste management. There's so much that it needs to be done, and I hope that people like you are like the youth are taking interest in it, and you will save your city for future generations. Faraz, your last words for our online viewers. You're a motivational, you're inspiration for them. How would you tell them to be save your city, Karachi? And yes,
I mean, look, everyone is doing, I mean, their own work, right? But we have to come together to for the bigger cause, for our environment and for this climate change. So whatever you are doing, whatever people are doing, but come closer for this cause, because it's very important. You might not understand it, but look at the countries who are most affected due to this climate change, and Pakistan is on the top 10 countries which is affected by this climate change. So I mean, it's now or never. We need to work together for this ultimately huge cause. Thank you.
Thank
thank
you
you so
for
much.
us. Welcome, Irim Fawad, also from Karachi. Welcome on the stage. We're so happy to see two
Thank
people
you
from Karachi
so very
connecting.
much. Thank you so much. Karachi is connected to everywhere, as my team Faraz is here. So I am so happy to see him. He used to be the CTO of Digital Academy Pakistan as well, and I am the CEO of Digital Pakistan, DAP in the Academy Pakistan. But yeah, definitely we are doing amazing stuff together, and he's an amazing tech entrepreneur and doing so many other things. So how are you, Sadaf?
I'm good. So half an hour, we just started with Faraz, but the floor is yours.
Okay.
We have time till 5
Okay.
p.m. So take the conversation further. Yes.
Okay.
Over to you, Ira.
Okay. So before I start, I say it's for you, it's for me, and it's for everyone. So this is Pakistan, Karachi, connecting to you. This is Iram Fawad. We all are here to just meet each other and get connected to each other so that we can make a difference. So it's a symphony of the billion voices. We are together. Together we stand, the more power comes to us. So welcome for us over here. And as Madam Sadaf was asking you a few of the tech questions, so I might ask you a little difficult one, but yeah, I know you can answer those. So anyhow, how was your day going?
Yeah, it's good, especially with you guys,
Good.
I guess.
So how's the COP28? What do you think about COP28? Is it a good thing to do? Are you interested to be a part in Pakistan when it is happening, COP29 over here? What about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's brilliant, and I mean, we should
Yeah,
do it every year as well. And I
yeah.
don't know much about this cock thing, to be honest. I came to know this through you, but yeah, I
Yeah.
am in support of anything which is working for our planet, to be honest.
So,
Okay. So as per our cyber security kind of thing that you were working in it and some of the tech things, would you like to tell us about what exactly are in Karachi, Pakistan is aiming to get achieve out of it, as you are doing some grow together program as well. I am loving it. I watch it every day. So it's like grow together. Can you just let us know about that one, because many are benefiting out of it.
Yeah, so the Grow Together, actually its full name is Grow Rich Together, and I created this forum like
Yeah.
few months ago, and the idea was to since everyone is working for their own. Why not we can connect people who are working in IT sector in online and earning online through freelancing and other kind of things. And when they come together, they can help each other, and as a result, everyone will be beneficial by others as well. So this was idea, and currently we are more than 1,000 people on this forum, and they are working very nicely together. And I keep posting videos and different kind of messages to keep them motivated as well. Some of them I have already started earning money through different platforms, which is really nice, because that's why I started this thing at first place. So yeah, we are doing it, but I mean 1,000 is nothing, to be honest, because Pakistan is the population of Pakistan is more than uh, 200 million, and if so it's
Yeah,
nothing, to be honest.
I agree.
Yeah, but yeah, since
I
everyone is working
understand some.
together, and maybe we can grow it at the bigger sector, I guess, and in future as well. Yeah, so this is just idea. Since I am also doing kind of freelancing from 2017, so I just wanted to give my knowledge as well, because the more knowledge you give to people, the more knowledge you are actually giving yourself, you are gaining by yourself. So yeah, this was idea.
Unfortunately,
So I would like to ask. Yes, yes, Inger.
no, wait, no, it's okay. Just go on with your question. It's beautiful to listen to you.
Yeah. My question is, like, as per AI is very important, and they're doing wonders in AI. So could you just let us know how is AI used in sustainability?
I pardon, can you ask it again?
Okay, that as I was asking you that artificial intelligence is the most important thing which is happening in this world these days. I am just asking that how we can be more sustainable by using AI.
Yeah, I mean, it's AI in nutshell is making our computer or machines smarter to work like humans, right? So anything which is repetitive, which we are doing every day, uh, it can be in the plantation, it can be in any sector of life. If it is repetitive task, AI can replace it very easily and very well as well, which ultimately save our time, and as a human, we can give this extra time to our family, or to the things which we care most about, like the environment or the climate change, these kind of things. So yeah,
Okay.
we can, yeah, get.
So as per I say that AI can study the partner of energy consumptions and provide insights on reducing and improving consumption while not compromising the company's productivity. AI is not just a bot; it can just give you a productive, GDP as well if you use it nicely. There's a everything has a positive and a negative side, but I guess if you use it the positive way, that is a better way to do it. So as Faraz is a very genius, I call him a part of the genius people.
So
I
so
guess
kind of you. So kind
yeah.
of
So
you.
because I at his age, a very young age, he has just created the WhatsApp. I guess he
I
tried the
have
last.
a kid actually.
No problem. Hello, kiddo. How you doing?
Baba, you doing? You know, जाचू घेते मग काय आहे तू म्हणे चाचू दे चाचू
Shadi, go.
मम्मा
Cha problem.
I will just get back to you, okay? Thank
Okay,
you.
no problem, no problem, no
Thank you,
problem.
sir.
So as we are discussing, from a very genius person from Karachi, he has been into AI and cybersecurity, working as a digital Academy Pakistan CDO as well. He has introduced a few days ago, and he did launched a Chat GPT WhatsApp for Pakistan. It's like, he has made that so that it is easier for the people, whoever is in there, they're gonna just write in the Chat GPT WhatsApp group, and they can get their answers rather than going and browsing it all over. The Chat GPT PK is working, and he is the one who designed it. And I guess it's a very brilliant thing, and whatever I don't know, I just go to his group and ask it, and the Chat GPT PK just answers us everything. This is very amazing. So that's really, really amazing work by Faraz. He's been designing, and he's been creating few of the AI tools which can be into our language, like Google. He is ongoing designing for in the language of Sindhi, Pakistani 4 languages like Punjabi, Sindhi, and many other. So he's a very brilliant and a very genius guy. And I guess he's been working with many of the companies and doing a freelance thing, and thinking. For his career, he's very abundant as well, and he's working too. But now he is doing a CSR thing, and letting other people know how to grow online, so how to grow rich actually. So many of the people who has followed him, they are around 1,000 people who are earning money online because of him. But this is a big, huge achievement of him that he is doing. So, yes, Inger.
Inger, you're muted.
Yes, thank you. And welcome back, Faraz. I can see you're reconnecting. Thank you for bringing Faraz to the call and to our stage on It's For You. And this is really It's For You, Faraz, and it's for everyone that is watching and connecting with us, because this is an inspirational story, and it's connecting, as I try to explain, that it's connecting back to Oslo, Norway, and to back to Europe, because speaking on behalf of Norway and Oslo, the Pakistanis came as immigrants to Norway in the 70s, and so you have third generations Pakistanis living in Oslo. So it's one of our biggest communities. So it's very important to connect across borders and make those learning bridges, and to understand that everybody needs to go back to our climate school these days, and to learn not only about the climate and the Earth system, but to learn technology. So I'm a little bit, I'm inviting always Greta Thunberg to say, let's go back to school, all of us. We can relearn and we can rethink our choices. And that's the big project that we have to do today, is to come together in multiple ways. So definitely what you're doing in Karachi, and I can hear your invitation, Irim. You like the COP29 to be in Pakistan, and
Yes.
it could be that you're right, because we never know if that is going to be the legacy of COP28, and that is actually to invite Pakistan to be the host for COP29, because nobody knows where it's going to happen. So if our voices
So we
and
are
a
very
symphony of
excited if this happens,
billion
because
voices
that's the
can bring
dream
that
that
together. Yes, let's dream it. If you can dream it, and if more people dream it, it's not a dream, it's reality. But let's see what the big people in Dubai is deciding to happen. So And I'm
Yeah.
sure there is questions
Yes.
from you, Sadaf, living up in the under in Kalash and up in the under the Himalayas. Are you connected to Karachi down there in by the sea? What's the Silk Road story to do with Karachi and the people in from up north down to the down south of Pakistan? Tell me, Sadaf. Over to you.
Thank you, Inger, and thank you, Aram, and thank you, Faraz, for joining a very interesting session on technology and AI and how technology is playing an important role for environmental challenges. Coming back to what Faraz saying for our viewers, that a lot of people don't know what COP is. So I'm going to just add in the details. So COP is Conference of the Parties, which happens every year in different parts of the world. It's a huge climate conference. This year it's happening in Dubai, and they're calling it the COP28. Me and Inger, I've attended just one COP, which happened in Glasgow. Last year it was in Egypt. It was Inger was there as well, and this year it's happening in Dubai. So we all have to wait on the 12th December where the decision makers are going to announce for next year. So who knows? We might end up all going together, and we'll prepare you. People like I think what's happening, and I think David was also the like he's part of this team. And when we started this campaign, it's for you, it's for me, Inger. I think this is maybe preparation for the next COP, and the people who participated, maybe we take them whoever the COP29 is and
We are
showcase their story.
we're going to go. You know, climate change is happening every day. It's not happening
Yeah.
just like for 12 days at the COP, the Conference of the Parties on Climate Change. That's a political level. And you know, for us, they have this zone, blue zone, which is like for delegates, like for governments and big business people. And you have to have be accredited as a delegation to come into the blue zone. And then around that, you have the green zone. And that is like a festival stage where all the tech innovations are presented, all the NGOs and the activists and the all kind of things. It's like a festival of green entrepreneurship and also blue entrepreneurship, I would say, because it's not only about the green, because green can be greenwashing, it can be fake and lying. So it's something going on there that is really amazing. So the blue zone is in the center, and then it comes the green zone, and then they have parallel events. It means like in all the nice 5-star 6-star hotels in Dubai, there are parallel events. There's cocktail parties. I don't know what, because I'm not there. I'm in Norway, so we are just zooming in and making our days fly around the world. So but and this, it's for you. It started together with David Coe, and his colleague Richard from Rethinking Choices, and they come from the big money story, I would say, because they think we have to rethink what choices. They come from the city of London. They are hedge funds, former hedge funds managers. So they were taking care of other people's money to make uh, other people more richer. And then they couldn't see that it was good enough to have sustainable financings or climate finance, etc. And definitely we do have our colleague David Coe on the green room here on this platform, so we can possible invite him to say a few words in a few seconds. But first of all, there he is. It's beautiful. He jumped on the stage, and it's a flying of ideas. So tell us, David, why did you come up with rethinking choices and and jumping off your profession? You are now a different voice, and you are engaging with all of us from London. So why are you here, David? Thank you for joining us now. So, but yes, see, some technical glitch, but let's tell us the story. We started from the African Climate Summit in September, and this is also for you, Irim, and this is also for you, Hussein, because we are going to show the story where it started in September, and we've been working only for 90 days. And our team from Kenya, the 36 universities and 10 colleges on 8 African countries. We're not a joke. We are going to be a powerhouse, and it is for you. It's a symphony of billion voices. So here.
Excellent. So it's for you, it's for me, and it's for everyone. Welcome back. That was the video of It's for You. It's a symphony of the billion voices. So for us, tell me your story. The chat, GPT, WhatsApp, PK. I have just told them about it when you were not here. So tell me about it. You designed it, and people are getting benefited out of it.
So what happened? One of my friends had only WhatsApp internet package, and he couldn't use ChatGPT at that time, but he wanted it very badly. I just got the idea that why not connecting or why not making something similar to the ChatGPT, but in WhatsApp. So you will just have a number you can talk with, you can get answers, whatever you want, right? So then I started working on it, and then I created a Park GPT. So what does Park GPT do? It's actually a voice and chat bot which you can integrate on WhatsApp, on Facebook, on Telegram, and different social media as well. Right now, we are just working on WhatsApp, and it's completely free of cost. You can ask it any kind of question, and it will give you reply just like a chat GPT, but it's not a chat GPT, it's a Park GPT. But yeah, it is trained on similar kind of data. That's why, and also the similar kind of algorithm on which ChatGPT is trained on. So you will get the similar kind of answers. But since I'm from Pakistan, I also use a huge amount of data which is available locally with the help of professors in universities, the data on which they are already working on, which helps us to connect or to get the answers for Pakistan specifically as well. It can give you answer in Urdu, which is also the language of Pakistan, Pashto, Punjabi, and Sindhi as well, which is actually making sure that the local people who are unable to write in English or talk in English can also be beneficial from this AI technology as well. And furthermore, it can also be used for the companies with the customer service or customer support as well. So we can train the similar kind of bot for the specific company data, and then if any, if a customer or if the client or whatever of the company asks the question to the chatbot, like where is my product, if if you're talking about the e-commerce, or if it wants to ask, I have this amount of money, what can I buy from your website, and then it can immediately give you answer that okay, so in this budget you can buy these things from us, and which are actually available. Okay, I want to buy this. Okay, we have booked for you. Okay, how may I pay? Then chatbot can generate a link to for the client, and it can buy. So it would be like he's talking with the real person, but that bot will be integrated with the website through the API. So this is what we are working on right now for the next quarter of the 2024, which is our plan to make this chatbot not only smarter but also able to integrate with any website we want to, just to for the better customer relationship, and also for the better customer support. And not only it can give you answer in text, but you can also call it and you can talk with it like a real human. And we are also working on it so it can give you answers in different kind of voices. If you like female voice, it will give you answer in female voice. If you like male voice, it will give you answer in male voice. If you like to sound it like Pakistani English accent, it will give you answer in similar accent, right? So this is what we are working on it right now. Technologically, it's very possible, but since there is a small data, we are working with different universities to collect the data so we can easily train our bot on this. So that's all, I guess, for the Park GPT. You may ask
That's amazing. That's
question. Yeah.
amazing. Bravo. Brilliant job you done. And I guess I am getting benefit out of it because I'm using it every day. I ask many questions and my answers is there in the chat bot. So yeah, thank you so much for creating it. I am having so much fun and learning more. I didn't know that you can call it as well, so I can call that now.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
good. It's good.
we are working on this feature right now. Yeah, it's in beta currently.
And with the facility that you wanted to talk to a female or a male, that is something
Yeah,
amazing.
I
That's
mean,
amazing, and I like it.
yeah. Yeah, I
That's
mean,
nice.
suppose, I mean, the AI is, is advancing day by day, because actually more people
Yeah.
are working on it. The more investment is coming to this technology, and I guess, I mean, I'm just hoping it will not turn out to be some kind of Terminator thing, which we and some movies which we saw in past, that how the AI is taking over the humanity, like a Matrix or whatever you say, right? But yeah, I think there should be a stop button as well. There should be a policy, a legal, legally bounded document or whatever you say, uh, to limit this thing as well. And they're already working on it in USA, in Europe. They are making the law to limit the AI usage as well, and what AI can do, what it cannot do, what are the ethical boundaries of AI. Because if you want it to do everything, then there are some cases in different countries like Korea, in Europe, that the machines which are controlled by AI accidentally, or maybe I don't know, by mistake or whatever you say, they killed humans in factories, because they couldn't stop the machines because they were working through AI. So these are
Yes,
some things we
I
should
know.
also aware of as well. That yeah, AI is good thing, but we should also be aware that what things it should do and what things we should take care of as well.
I know. I know. Taking the conversation ahead, because everything, whatever you just invent, has a positive side and a negative side. So rather than just thinking about positive, you have to think about the negative one as well. What are the things that can make you, difficult, make your life difficult on it? Because if you just totally depend on it, then your life is miserable, because the machine, the bot, will control you. And that is something really dangerous. If you think like that, then it is okay. The movie you're talking about, the Terminator, people have seen all on the screen. But the thing is, like, making it the greener way, I guess, the sustainable way, it can be controlled. And yes, they are working on it. But as tell me about it. And these days, like, when the version of, if I say, chat GPT, these days in Pakistan, people are using only like 3.0, I guess. Or there's another invention coming over here. I don't know if they have ever have an experience of 0.5.
Yeah, so there are two versions of ChatGPT right now. One is 3.5, which is freely
Mm-hmm.
available and everyone can use it.
Yes.
There is also a premium version which is 4.0, and it's about $20 per month, right? And there is also API. If
Yeah.
you want to connect to the ChatGPT, if you want to use the data of ChatGPT, and if you want to make an application with the help of ChatGPT, you can connect it with the API of the ChatGPT, which is about
Yeah.
a little bit costly as well. So these are different versions of ChatGPT, and yeah, they are working on the 4.5 and 5 as well. And recently, there are reports that the insider report is that the ChatGPT is is turning into the AGI instead of the AI.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
very dangerous thing as well, because it gave the answers in
It
the
should be
way
controlled.
it shouldn't do. Yeah.
So we should make something or invent something to stop it as well, because the human version, we need human version for sustainability. If there is everything has been controlled by AGI, it's like it's gonna be very, very, very difficult life. But I guess people are working on it, and we're hoping for good, because we know that we are working for, it's for you, it's for me, and it's for everyone. So it's the symphony of the billion voices. And yes, don't be scared, because people like Faraz are working on it. So don't be scared like that, because this is scary. But
Thank you so
anyhow,
much.
uh, yeah, on the other hand, it has positive stuff as well, because now students can go to chat gpt and just copy paste everything up in the copy, right? So you know what, this is what happening these days. But anyhow, it is the other anything that you invent has a positive way and a negative way. So one must think about it, because a few are the dangerous points and few are the very beneficial points for you, and we experience everything. Life must go on like that, and don't worry on this one, because Faraz is on our side. Yes, Sadaf.
Thank you so much for your kind words, and it was honor to be here to talk about AI and also the climate change. Thank you for inviting me here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Faraz.
Okay.
Thank you, Iram. for hosting this talk. And now we're going to start our next session. So Iram, 30 minutes I'll moderate, and the last 30 minutes your guest is coming. So stay tuned and be with us. It's for you, it's for me, it's for everyone.
You got it.
Okay. So I hope my colleague Inger Met also joins in. Maybe she's just taking a break. But in the meantime, I'm just going to play some video from COP28, and then we're going to start the next session all the way from Andrea. She's joining us from Thailand, and she's been kind enough for interviewing the whole team of It's For You. And we'll be hearing her interesting story. The topic will be Global Voices for Women on Climate Change Challenges. So let's just go back quickly to COP28, what is happening in Dubai, and then we'll invite Andrea to the stage.
Happy. There was the discussions were challenging. This is 30 years worth of discussion, which concluded in Sharm el-Sheikh last year with that historic decision to establish the fund and funding arrangements. But the challenge was how within a one-year period with just 5 meetings of the committee to actually work out the details and iron out the details of how to operationalize it, and not just operationalizing it, but also to start that seed capital for it, which we were all there to witness. So today's news on loss and damage gives this UN climate conference a running start. Well, governments and their negotiators must use this momentum to deliver truly ambitious outcomes here in Dubai. We must keep our eyes on the prize, and every minute counts. So I want you to think of those people as the negotiations take place. And that's what energizes me, and that's what inspires me as we support this process. So when the going gets tough, I urge negotiating teams to move beyond traditional negotiating.
Hello, welcome, good evening. So I welcome Andrea, who's joining us all the way from Thailand. I will be just introducing her soon. So this is our third session going on for the 6th day of COP. And Andrea is a digital I'm just trying to find your post so that I spell talk. Okay, yeah. Andrea challenges organizations to think differently about integrity in the digital age, to think differently about the positive potential of social media, and she challenges businesses leaders to understand that the tool of business transformation today is the powerful voices of employees as social leaders, because it's employees who are the champions, are true influencers for businesses in the digital age. Andrea, that was just a brief introduction, but I know you're doing a lot of good things, and I welcome you to this campaign we are running. It's for you for COP28, which is happening in Dubai. How are you, Andrea?
I'm good, and it's great to be here, especially with both of you, you power ladies who are doing so much. I'm really impressed with the work you're doing, so it's really cool to be here. So thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much. So coming back to COP28 and the discussions that we're having, this whole campaign, you're also following the news. First of all, my question to you would be, what's your take, what is currently happening in COP28 Dubai, and what's your thoughts on that?
Oh, it's going back and forwards from hope to despair sort of fairly regularly, right? And you're hearing some of the things like just today, Saudi said that they're going to absolutely refuse to stop oil, you know, and it's like, but I think regardless of what is happening at COP, we've just got to come together, mobilize and get to work. I think, you know, if it's not doing the job that it needs to do for humanity, then we need to look at it, doing it in a different way.
Wow, brilliant. I welcome my co-host Inger Met also. She's joining us all the way from Oslo, Norway. And we'll be having an interesting discussion where media perspective as well. I'll come back to that because Iram is also from the digital media background. Another question to you is that we all are, I talk about gender equality and female power. What's your take? You interview so many people across the globe, the women voices for climate change. How do you feel? Does that create an impact? Yes, Andrea.
Oh, absolutely. And there's so many women out there on the front lines speaking up. They're leading the campaigns. Like rural women are leading the work to adapt to the changing climate. And then other women are on the front lines being voices. And they're experiencing some pretty significant sort of trolling and abuse, but they go anyway. I always say be like Greta and just ignore the trolls. I've always been trolled, and as time's gone on, I just don't care about it. But it's hard to be a woman, but I think, especially on social media, especially if you don't fit some sort of an idea of beauty as well, so then your physical presence gets attacked, you know, that sort of thing. But I think if there's enough of us speaking up and out there, there's too many of us, they can't get to us all. I honestly think if 50% of the world's population is women, if we all come together and we unite, because the world needs to unite now. So if the men aren't going to get it sorted, because, you know, they're the large percentage of representatives at COP is men. I think, what was it? 62% of attendees are men and 38% women. Of the speakers, there's 140 speakers and only 15 are women on the main stage. So the female voice is not being heard as it should be. It should have equal representation. So women are already doing a lot, but I think we've got to fight for more. We have to be at the table when decisions are being made. If we're not, the wrong decisions are going to be made. Men have a different perspective. They have different priorities. Women have to be heard. We have to hear all the voices. Minority groups and Indigenous groups too, to me, are equally valid.
Brilliant. I will hand it over to Inger now. Inger, over to you.
Wow, Andrea, so important. So it should be 50% women leadership when we inshallah will be having COP29 in Pakistan, Iram, huh? But you know, Andrea, you know, in 1992, the Gro Harlem Brundtland, the Norwegian prime minister at the time, she presented the Agenda 21 in 1992, and the agenda of future in our hands. So, and I definitely think if we put the dots and connection to a peace culture and climate change, at least the voices of women, we definitely don't want to have the war that is going on the planet. Yeah. So we like to divorce the military industrial complex from the climate or from the oil, gas, and coal industry as well. You know, there's something that's completely wrong out there, and I do not have the answers. But you know, I can ask the question: how on earth are we going to make a breakthrough when it comes to these big challenges?
You know, one of the things that has always struck me. So I've always been involved with communities where we're organising events, and 70 to 80% of the applications to speak, to be part of it, are always from men, and 20% are from women. So the other thing that women need to do is we need to step into this. We need to apply. We need to, you know, put our hands up and say, I'm ready to speak. We need to have the courage to put our voices out there on these platforms, even though we know that that can come with some negative consequences. But if we're going to solve it, we need to have more of us up there. And you know, there's some really interesting research that 30%, I can't remember which university it was, but 30% of the population, male and female, would destroy their entire environment. They wouldn't live sustainably in it. And so they're called, the narcissists, sociopaths, Machiavellians. So 30%. And 70% of the population are not like that, and we would live sustainably where within the confines of where we live. The challenge we've got is that 30% tend to be the sort of people that go for leadership positions, whether it's in government, whether it's in business. And I think that's one of the problems that we need to address. I think, sorry?
No, you're so right.
And the other problem is, I think we need to understand the human mind. We've lost our history. People don't know their history, so you see so many of the same mistakes happening again, and you wonder how could we possibly do it. And I think it's because people don't remember, because it's not an important thing to know. But the other thing is, how do our minds work? How do these influencers, the social media companies, the advertising, how does it work? How does our brains work? And I think understanding that would also help us to better communicate the challenges in a way that people are going to be able to receive. But there's massive challenges. We obviously all know that, but I think when I sit back and listen to it, 50% representation, Indigenous voices leading the way. We need to get the massive fishing trawlers out of the seas, because we're taking the life out of the ocean, which is we're all seeing the impacts of the ocean at record heat and the lack of oxygen in the ocean. And we saw that during the pandemic here, that the fish came back in a really, really short time, So we need to do that. We need to reduce animal agriculture. We need to rewild our lands, So I think we've just got to look at what are these big things that we need to do, and then bring communities together. And I think women are probably best, especially in the global south. I think women are best to lead this, because they're already doing it. They're just not getting the attention. The media is not talking about their stories. I'm sure for all of you, when you go out there to the front lines, it's women leading the way, right?
Exactly. I will ask, because since you're in Thailand and I haven't had any story from Thailand, what is Thailand doing on climate change? How active they are? What's the representation from Thailand government side, or any of your friends from Thailand? Because Thailand is a famous tourist destination, beaches, similar challenges, environmental. So I want to hear a little sort of story to Thailand, and then I'll bring in discussion with Iram Fawad, and she's going to ask a question. Definitely, she has a question for you.
One of the most inspiring things in Thailand is there are people, communities everywhere who are cleaning the beaches. So the beaches are getting so badly trashed, and it's getting worse and worse. And when people say it's going to triple, you can't even imagine what triple would look like, because it's so bad. Obviously, rice is a massive industry in this part of the world, and it's being impacted. Once the temperature gets beyond 35 degrees, rice harvests start to fail. So we hit 43 in the last hot season. So 30%, down. Obviously, the cost of food, energy, for the average person in Thailand, times are really, really hard. From I can't talk about what the government's doing here, because I won't be nice, and I'm a guest of the country, so I'm always respectful. But what concerns me the most about Thailand, Malaysia, Philippines, Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, all these countries around me, is I'm not seeing adaptation happening. And the number one thing everyone needs to be getting ready for is the heat. The crops are going to keep being impacted. The rice in India has been impacted, and that has a ripple effect all around the world. But so there's individual people, small groups, local and foreigners, all coming together, doing what they can, raising awareness. There's a lady I've met up in Bangkok who's trying to tackle the haze that hits sort of in February, and that's because they're burning up north. It's like what happens in Delhi every year, the burning of the agriculture, because it's quicker. And it's creating a terrible problem. And in February this year, the heat hit as the haze hit. And of course, when you've got haze and heat, it holds it in, so it makes it actually hotter.
It's terrible.
So, yeah, and I think the other thing that's really a real struggle for this part of the world is just recovering from the pandemic. It destroyed the economies of so many countries in this part of the world. So the priority to build, I can't tell you how many hotels and villas are being built. They're looking at a new airport. I'm like, that's not the future that we've got coming, So it's a bit of a disconnect for me about what I'm seeing and the reality of what I know is coming. So it's challenging, it's hard, and it's sad because I have choices. I can get on a plane and go to a place that's cooler. Vast majority of people in this part of the world can't, and that's something that I really struggle with, and it's the privilege that I've got from where I was born. So I think we're going to see a lot of suffering in this part of the world, and I want to help people recognize we've got to get ready for it, do what we can to adapt. That's the biggest priority I think we need to be focused on right now.
Brilliant. So, Iram Fawad, your question for Andrea. Yes, Iram.
So I was muted and I'm speaking. So welcome on board, Andrea. This is so amazing to meet you finally. And as per digital sustainability, I talk about it, and you have to bear me on this one. So no problem, I guess. So this is something like digital sustainability harnesses the tools of digital transformation, such as enhanced connectivity and the Internet of the Things, the IoT. So, to improve the environment to support sustainable business operations. But my questions to you is, everybody know the advantages of digital sustainability? Do you know a way to achieve that digital sustainability?
That's a good question. I think I don't think we're anywhere near where we need to be.
Did you get it?
Yeah, you just got a bit of noise in the background there. I don't think we're anywhere near where we need to be as far as making sure the people who need to have access to technology, because technology is access to information, right? And I think there's that, you know, when we talk about the women farmers who are setting up cooperatives across India, who are working out, they're getting all the pesticides out. They're going back to really traditional practices. They're planting new crops that are more heat resistant, but they don't have access to technology. So they're doing all of this without technology. Imagine how much more they could do if we gave them the access to the information, but also to understand the risks. So, you know, this year they took the women out of the farms during the daytime because it was too hot. But once wet bulb temperatures kick in, even sitting under a tree, they could die. So how do we communicate to them, you know? So that to me is the communication to the poorest people in the world is a really, really critical need. You know, we sit here and, you know, I ask my friends in my community, how many devices do you have? And we have 4, 5, 6 devices, you know, and then there's communities of people that don't even have one between them, or the men have them and the women don't get access to them. And the men aren't farming, the women are farming. So, you know, we've got this real disconnect. And the other obvious issue with technology is it also has a massive impact on the environment from the precious metals that are inside of it, the lack of recycling that's going on. You know, we know that Apple is doing more to recycle, and the telcos are starting to do it. But we saw in India and Pakistan, in Bangladesh, they made mobile access more affordable. Do you remember the days when they used to do advertising with Call Me Back? Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. You send a message and we'll call you, because people couldn't afford to have the, you know. So they've made massive progress. Yeah, but we need more. But we also need to be really considering that the environmental impact of technology, like data, has an environmental impact. All these data centers all over the world, they take an extraordinary amount of water and electricity, artificial intelligence as well. I think it was for 40 lines of an artificial intelligence answer, it's the equivalent of a bottle of water, drinking water. You know, so we keep bringing all these new technologies into the world, which have an environmental impact, and we're not thinking about that before. Not just the social implications of artificial intelligence, the environmental implications. So we're just not very good at thinking ahead, don't you think? But women need access to technology. They need it for knowledge and education. They need it for safety. If they're on the move, if they have to migrate, you know, women are under so much risk with violence, sexual violence, slavery, sexual slavery. So yeah, technology is a critical part of the story, especially for women. for everyone,
Absolutely.
but especially for women. Yeah.
Inger, bringing you into discussion, Andrea's comments on technology and innovation. How can, as we were discussing earlier, bring in voices of those females across the globe so that they can be part of this whole environmental challenges? Because talk about floods in Pakistan or underdeveloped countries, those people don't even have internet and Wi-Fi, and they have to be at the front. They are the victims. How do we talk about such voices when it comes to technology and innovation, Inger? And then you can discuss this with Andrea. What should we do about it? How should we empower them? How can
Yes.
we them bring their voices, especially to their communities?
Yes, I'm listening well, Andrea, and I'm grateful for you being on the in our studio today, and we can listen to your voice and insights. I'm also a little bit quiet down, and I'm like trying to feel what I can share and what's important and relevant to share, and then. One of my passion when it comes to Thailand is the Thailand cuisine. And I've been working with my friend in Koh Lanta. I only been once in Thailand, and it's not far from you in Phuket. I landed in Phuket. I took like a beautiful boat across the ocean to Phi Phi Island, and then over to the Krabi area, and we went to this cooking school. So I am just wondering if the power is in the kitchen. And that is also back to the interview we done with in Kenya with the women and the empowerment women in Kenya, and we're working with 500 farmers, women, in the network of our colleagues in Kenya, in Nairobi. And we agree that there is power in the kitchen, and food security is happening in a small scale farmers. And I can see that some of the news from COP28 is also going that there will be money to small scale farmers, like on the countryside. What is your take on this thing? Let's empower women. The power is in the kitchen. It's about food security. It's the way we innovate food security systems, and power in the kitchen.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. When I think of Thailand, like I think of a lot of cultures where I think the power is in the kitchen, but I don't think of Thailand that way. I think food is something that everyone loves and enjoys and embraces, and also the way that the Thai people eat. It's like as far as meat, right? So it's tiny little portions of meat in these big dishes. So. The way they cook is really interesting, but yeah, food security is massive. And when you're in a place like when I look at the risk of food security in this region in particular, so the Philippines for me is a really great example. So a lady who's been working with our family for 17 years, she's an amazing person. Her family have a farm up in these mountains, and they've all been farmers for generations. And if you don't farm on this land, you lose it. The government can take it back. So that's the kind of deal. But the Philippines is importing a significant amount of its food from China. And these mountains where Vic has her family farm, which is still a farm, all around it are now luxury houses for wealthy people. So this is a country that's about to go into a massive state of food insecurity because they're not feeding themselves anymore from their own farms. They're bringing it in from other countries. Sorry, and China's going through massive issues with drought and crop loss. So for me, the food security is more about everyone needs to bring it back home, wherever we live. So during the pandemic, Phuket, it's a tourist destination. I think it's something like 90% of the GDP here is all based on tourism. The tourism industry disappeared overnight, and for a couple of years, people had nothing to eat. They had no money. So it was a very, very hard situation. And as the time went on, I watched people going out. They were fishing, lots of local growing in their farms and that sort of thing, in their homes, herbs and basic vegetables. And it was very interesting to watch people go back to basics And as a generation, they're not as far from that as my people from Australia, and probably the same for you, Ingemetto, right?
Mhm.
My grandmother was an amazing green thumb, but you'd never
Yes.
see my mum out in the garden, you know. So we kind of we're disconnected from the source of our sustenance. So I think it's more, we need to remember that, and the globalization of the food industry is putting us all at risk. So we've got to make sure that we can grow our own food so we can take care of ourselves, versus the priority of sending it overseas and making a few people wealthy. Because that's probably my biggest concern.
Yes.
How vulnerable so many people are, and watching people go through it. It seriously, it broke my heart seeing people lining up for food. You know, and as the weeks went on, their clothes got dirtier, they got skinnier. You know, you could really see that impact, and no one wants to be lining up for food. No one wants to beg, you know, but they felt like that they had no other option but to do that. So that was it really broke my heart going through that experience. I don't think I've ever recovered from it. And knowing that more is coming for this beautiful community, it really, yeah, it concerns me a lot.
No, it's happening.
Plant a garden. Plant a garden.
Yes, plant a garden. But this is also the trend about urban farming and community farming. And I see it in Oslo, the inner city of Oslo. We have a huge of small plots that is more green. So we have the green city map of Oslo, and we can see the green initiatives. And you have luxury restaurants buying direct from farmers, and also wild farming in the forest farming. And there's
Nice.
another thing that is happening last week or these days in Norway in the news. It's the tax on imported potatoes is going up. So they want people to buy Norwegian potatoes, and so they can secure that the Norwegian farmers are having an income on Norwegian potatoes. So we're not buying from France a special potato from Spain, cheaper. So they just put up taxes to importing potatoes in Norway. So potatoes and tomatoes, where do we buy them from, has an impact on our food. But the sad story is really, as you said, that Thailand was relying on tourism, and that was cracking down to nothing during COVID. And you're still saying that you have to recover from that. And it's a sad story. It's a sad story that people are really forced to beg in the streets for food.
Yeah.
And it's
It's like
happening.
Siddharth would have seen it after the floods in Pakistan, right? You would have seen that desperation, you know, in much bigger numbers.
The tourism industry globally, I mean, it's just COVID and then the environment. It's like just so sad to see all those places. We'll be having a separate discussion, Andrea, I think, of sustainable tourism, green tourism. What are people doing it? Because we as a tourist, they're damaging all these environmental beautiful places. And what are we doing? Plastic pollution is just crazy. Me and Inger, we were just having a discussion. I mean, what we see on the ground and what plastic pollution is under the oceans, that is just like, plastic is just, I don't know, sometimes when I started working on these sustainable development goals and projects, sometimes I just don't know where to stop and where to, like, what to do about it, because it's huge. But
I think again, it's the food industry that has to divorce itself from the fossil oil and plastic industry as a wrapping and wrapping on items like noodles in Asia, for example, or biscuits or chips and all the plastic that's wrapped.
Bananas.
Bananas also, yeah.
Exactly.
So no, it's a challenging time. So in Europe, we call it from the green initiatives funded by European Union on small scale farmers, and to make it trendy to have from farm to fork, or from farm to fashion. The cotton industry, the fibers also come from farming. The wool industry for clothing it's farming. So this thing about, and that brings all the thing about circular economy, and how we can really ground ourselves in a wealth creation economy that is localized, and some of the thing we say that in the Nordics name for economics or business, doing business, means literally to nourish life is the word for doing business in Norway. Næringsliv. Nærings to live means nourish life. That's the word for business. So the busyness man syndrome is actually is part of the new. It's going to be a fossil. It's an old-fashioned way of thinking that you have to be a busyness man, running after only money, and you're forgetting your family. You're forgetting the responsibility of bringing back wealth to the local community. And this,
Exactly. Sorry, Ingrid, to interrupt, but we have another guest waiting for our last session, which is going to happen soon. But I thank Andrea for joining our discussion and your last words for our online viewers, Andrea, for COP28 campaign we are running. It's for you, it's for me, it's for everyone. Your last comments.
All right, just one thing, ladies. If these boys don't get it right at COP28, let's come together, all of us, every religion, every race, every culture,
That's
all of
my
us,
girl.
and bring the indigenous communities with us and bring the men with us because they're not the enemy. Let's come together. Let's get it done because we've got to get it done. And, you know, we can do it. We can do it. We need a global community. And so let's start there.
we are starting. We're doing it. We're living it. We will do it.
You're my girl. So yeah, you're talking my language.
Yeah, cool.
And that's
Thank you so much,
yeah.
Andrea, for your time.
So thank
I
you
know
so
you're
very much, Andrea, for joining up. It's like
Thank
an
you so
amazing
much.
thing. I must sit down together with you.
It's great to be here. All right, see you, girls.
See you. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you so much for all the work you've done for us. Thank you.
I've enjoyed it.
For being part of the team. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So let's have a break. Do we play some music or what do we do, Sadaf? What is the next?
Yeah, we need some music, and then Aram is going to host our session.
A good one, a good music.
Let's play what we always play, and this is the music from our friends from Kenya. I will be the DJ.
No, the DJ of official. It's for you.
Dignity is the key to unlock your consciousness towards the environment. Yeah, nature is alive and nature has feelings. Don't you hurt its feelings. You are human and just stop being the reason why nature ain't healing. Good does not come from having good intentions or even by acting on them. But good comes from accepting that the good
dreaming of a day when we shall heal the world. Transform yourself, it's for you, it's the solution. A limit to oil, gas and coal makes me happy. This world is all we got, so we must save the planet, save it now.
Yeah. Good originates from accepting that there are limits. Good comes from limits. Rethink those choices. Chunga vile una purchase. Think of your consumption. What's the point? I mean, transformational ownership is for you. It's for you, yeah. Are you ready now? Are you
dreaming of a day when we shall heal the world? Transform yourself, it's for you, it's the solution. A limit to oil, gas and coal makes me happy. This world is all we got, so we must save the planet, save it now.
Yeah, dancing in the rain. What gives you joy? Owning my challenges. What
gives you joy?
Being alive. What gives you joy? Having fun.
Wow, we need to be alive, need to celebrate what we can celebrate. Climate change is serious, so we have to lighten it up a bit. And thanks to our team, with David and Richard from London, our super London heads, they are putting the borders and putting a lid on a structure of production of oil, gas and coal. I had to transform it. Over to you, Sadaf. Let's welcome the new guests.
Over to Aram. Aram is hosting the last 30 minutes. Over to you, Aram.
Yes. So thank you, girls, for playing a fabulous music and making me refresh myself. Yeah, thank you so very much. So we are talking about. We have talked so many people about the women empowerment, the environment, the AI, the cybersecurity, the digital sustainability, and much more. Not even we are even talking to a few people who can sing for us, who can paint for us. And yes, definitely, because it's for you, it's for me, and it's for everyone. So we welcome Miss Faryal Asif. She is a very inspiring woman and is a trainer as well. Plus, she works in women empowerment. She is the vice president to one of the Rotary Club as well. In very young but very nice. She's doing fabulous stuff. So welcome aboard, Faryal Asif, if you're there. Faryal Asif, welcome on board. Turn on your camera. So welcome. Can you hear me? I guess the internet glitching. So
It's glitching.
anyhow, Inger, yes.
Can I play some
It's the
video in
internet
between? Let me play
Please.
some video.
Yes,
with-
sure. Not. Let me just check with
Yes, please take a lead on the video so we can save the glitch and so we get the connection and right from Karachi, Pakistan. So we're ready to hear the Symphony of a Billion Voices live from Karachi, Pakistan. We are making ideas fly, not people. Sometimes people travel and they love to travel, but for COP28 we make ideas fly. It is for you. It is for everyone. It's for all of us.
Inger,
Take a
can you
lead.
play the video? Okay.
Welcome on stage and meet Irim Fawad. We are ready to
In the
be
meantime,
live.
when Madam Faryal join us, I'll show some interesting videos flashback, which is one of my favorite videos from the Silk Road Summit. Let's do that.
Yes.
I was made for you. Storm in your eyes, in your eyes, in your eyes. You cannot escape from me. The gods above and our destiny. You cannot escape from me. The gods above and our destiny.
Amazing work, ladies. You are living it. You are doing it. I'm so incredible. Proud of being in the team and playing this
Brought
up
back so
together with you.
many memories. We did it. It was an amazing job done by the women. So this is something very nice and an impossible one. But I guess a few of the acquaintances, friends, they did help us, and we had a very, very successful event over there. So Sadaf, I guess she's joining us in 1 minute because she's having an
Don't
internet
worry,
problem.
I have
But
another.
anyhow, we talk about her profile. Like I guess she's a trainer, by the way.
I'm Sadaf Khalid Khan and मैं सी हूँ एसटी अकेडमी ऑफ पाकिस्तान। इस वक्त हम तालाब स्वाद में खुशू फॉरेस्ट में हमारी 2 दिन की ट्रेनिंग मुनक्किद की गई है एसटीडीज यूथ बूट कैंप। इसमें हमारे स्पॉन्सर पार्टनर्स है CDRN और यूथ इम्पैक्ट लीडर अब्दुल समद ट्रेनिंग दे रहे हैं। मकसद इस 2 दिन की ट्रेनिंग का ये है, कल हमारी ट्रेनिंग हुई तालाब यूथ कैंप। हमने आज हमारा दूसरे दिन की
So
Yes,
I guess yes, I guess she's having a little problem with her. She's changing the place, so she's going to be back in like in 5 minutes. But anyhow, Sfariala Saif is a young girl who's a Rotarian vice president of one of the clubs over here, local clubs in Karachi. She is doing, yeah. So welcome on board, Sfariala Saif.
Hello.
Sfariala Saif, can you mute your phone?
How are you doing?
Mute your phone or other devices which is on.
There is an echo, so you
Because your voice is echoing.
Oh, okay. Let me see.
You have 2 channels on.
Yeah.
We're so
So
happy.
are you ready?
We're
Can you hear me? Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you absolutely fine. Is it better now?
Yes, it's better. So welcome on board.
No, it is not
Thank you for
yet,
having me
my
and good
ladies.
evening to everybody.
You have to come with one device, otherwise
I am actually logging.
it's live stream. It's for you. It's for me, and it's for everyone.
I can imagine that you're having 2 windows up, and one is the window that you were looking before you came to the stage, and the other one is when you're live now. So you can just take your time to figure it out, and we bring you back. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
So as
it's
per
good.
we were discussing about her profile, what the guest profile was, and what she's doing in Pakistan, in Karachi. She is a young girl, and she's doing so much. She is into fashion. She is into education, and psychologist as well. So she's been into many of the trainings and all that, and she do signature work. Well, signature topics of hers are the women empowerment, wellness and self-care, managing anxiety and stress, and being your authentic self, plus prioritizing mental health, because she works on it. She's a psychologist as well. So that's why tourism in Pakistan is her passion. She was taking my trip to Turkey, and she's very enthusiastic, and she's working very hard. Inclusion and diversity. I guess Yeah. So anyhow, we've been together. It's been a journey of around, I guess, 8 to 10 years now. And with her mom, Shabana Asif, the woman we talked 2 days before. Me and her is very good friends, and we do a lot of businesses development for the women empowerment and all that. As per I am the deputy convener for economy and business development and sheet trade development in federation in Pakistan. So the Faryal is also one of the VPs of the federation committees over here. So Faryal, can you hear us now? I
I hope
cannot
I'm
hear
audible
you.
properly.
Yes, now you're properly audible, and welcome on board.
Thank you so much, and good evening to everyone watching from various parts of the globe. And I hope they are having a good day. Thank you for having me, and
Yeah.
let's
So
carry on our
I just
conversation.
want to introduce you to one of my two of my very good friends and business acquaintances all around the world. Well, one is Sadaf Khalid, who's from Islamabad and lives in UK, and the one is from Norway, Inger Mate, and she's a very wonderful woman, and she is the DJ these days of days for you. So let me say to you, it's for you, it's for me, and it's for everyone. So welcome on board on the symphony of the billion voices for Yalasif. Introduce yourself, tell the world what you do, how you're making a difference for COP28 UAE.
So I'll start off with a brief introduction of myself. I am basically practicing as an educational psychologist in Pakistan and as a trainer who is basically looking forward to promote inclusion and diversity. One of the reasons that I have sticked towards achieving a certain goal and linking it up with SDG goals as well. I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done with the people with disabilities or people with different abilities, be it athletes, students, professionals, and I've been working with them in Pakistan via a sports organization. So I have seen one thing that if they get the proper attention, care, and facilitation at a certain age, they can achieve anything. And one taboo they break very easily, or I would say there's a norm set that achieving an academic degree or a qualification or a master's is that is what qualifies you as a educated person. But I think there's a lot of things more that comes in terms of education, the way your personality is, the way your upbringing is, the culture and traditions you represent, and sometimes those little things flourishes the personality of these individuals so beautifully that you can see them grow in a very different way. And I'm talking about different people I've seen that have traveled from a smallest village in Sindh, in our one of our provinces, till Berlin, Germany, for World Games, and that is a journey to see, and it's an inspiration for a lot of youth that is working across the globe. So that is one of the reasons that I believe that there's a specific attention that needs to be given towards education, empowerment, and entrepreneurship.
So nice. Thank you for coming here, and greetings from Norway. So it's so nice to see the empowerment of young ladies like you, and thanks to uh, Irum bringing you on stage. So over to you, Irum.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so
very
much
much,
for your
Inger.
contribution.
As I know so many of the ladies who are empowering these days, and we are so much very proud for of each one of it. It's not only ladies of my age, her age. There are young girls who are coming, stepping up and doing something amazing for the betterment of this world, because we are working on sustainability. We are working on the women empowerment. We are working on the sustainability of the mental health of women. So, Faryal, do tell me about your professional journey so that you can you've been doing it. How do you think? When do you realize that you wanted to do it?
I think that would be five, no, not 5 years now, because sometimes I skip 2 years of COVID. So I think that would be somewhere in 2014 and 15 when I realized that there are a lot of clinical psychologists that work as therapists in our country, but there are no particular expertise for educational psychology. That means that you're taking together education and psychology and relevant socially acceptable norms together, because there are certain things where it's more than therapy. It's more about mentorship. It's more about, and empowering. It's more about training. So at that point, I realized that a lot of people do not get the correct guidance in time for them to flourish academically or socially as well. So that is where I decided that I would be practicing as an educational psychologist. Apart from that, I love to travel, and one thing I would want to say is I am looking forward to go and check out the Northern Lights whenever I get the chance to fly to Norway. My luck, but that's one of the things I've seen within our country, is that um, there are certain norms that needs to be focused more, and they make huge difference across the globe. It makes huge difference across the country, and it makes a life of an individual easier, and that gives in a global impact. So that is what I believe was the reason I started working on. And yeah, I love your background. I'm looking forward to have a future like that where I can see the northern lights,
Yes, I'm
inshallah.
sending you one.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Sending
yes.
you.
So I
So
will
Inga, send
manifest
us
this.
that as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
absolutely.
this is
I'll
this is
manifest this moment. Yes, I'll manifest this moment till I get to meet
Northern
you in
Lights.
person and see Norway and the Northern Lights.
yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. So let me tell you that Faryal is very a tourism entrepreneur as well, because we have just planned something in February to Turkey and to Baku as well. So it's like she has been working with me, and a very inspiring, diverse field kind of a person like I am, and we're like-minded, and the young ideas from her brain are coming to me, and that's very, very nice. So I guess
Oh, yes.
the background, Inger, I really love. So just send it to me and for y'all, so we can also put it over
Um,
there,
you know,
because we love that. Okay.
you
So
know,
anyway, we're talking about yes, yes, Inger, yes.
yes, yes, yes. I with the background, because you mentioned the Northern Lights, and the North Pole, and the story of the North. We also have the indigenous tribes in Norway with Sami people, and we have which is a beautiful story, and the wilderness and the raw nature in Norway is huge. And we are the culture of the few, and you are the culture of the many. We are like 5 million people, and you are 200 million people. So it's like a completely different reality. And outside it's like 10 to 20 degrees minus, and I have a snow outside. But the sculpture you see behind me is my friend Toril, and it's connected to a project I'm doing with children. And this is a marble sculpture, and it's placed outside on where we're having the summer school for the World Climate School in the summertime. And this is, of course, is white marble, reminding us that the ice is melting. So this is definitely a story I'd love to like to share with you. But what I'd like to ask now is actually you making talking about education and psychologists, and how and a new profile that you crafted for yourself that is very interesting. Uh,
Thank you.
when we started working with the World Climate School with the SDG Academy of Pakistan, with Sadaf and Erum and all of you, we started from a point of psychology, climate psychology. And when you're having, existential angst, or you don't see a future in ahead of you, could you please, what's your perspective on climate psychology and mental health as we move forward for a better world?
Okay. One of the most easily relatable thing when we talk about climate psychology and climate change and mental health is SAD. It's seasonal affective disorder. People get to feel very different kind of anxiety and stress when season change. For example, winter makes me happy. It does makes me happy. But a lot of people feel sad, they feel depressed, they feel alone, they feel gloomy. Sometimes this is the same things which happens during the rain season. And the dynamics of a country is so diversified that there is a different kind of temperature in one of the provinces that is nearby the sea. There is another kind of temperature and weather fields for people in Lahore and Islamabad. Then there is an entire different story for people in up northern areas.
Yes.
If I relate climate psychology more towards mental health, I think one of the reasons I travel within Pakistan is because of the diverse weather conditions I get to experience, specifically in summers. Winters are a little harsher here as well, but when I get to travel in summers, you can enjoy a little bit of autumn feel in the daylight, and when it's night you will feel as if it's a rainy weather. And I'm talking about summers in northern areas in Upper Punjab. And that environment, that presence, the feeling that you get is more than enough to take away 15 to 40 days of stress from your life. One of the things I may really make sure when I'm traveling in terms of mental health is that I'm away from my gadgets and my phone, and I'm enjoying the atmosphere and environment. It is more greener, it is more beautiful, it is more cooler. Even the water over there, it does not need filtration. It is full of minerals, and it's very, very beneficial for your body, for your skin, for your hair. There's a thing within Pakistan that you carry a different kind of water weight when you're specifically towards more humid areas which has more humidity. So a lot of people loses their water weight when they're traveling to up northern countries, or even to Lahore and Islamabad, the different countries in Punjab. And that makes them feel good about themselves. They look good in the pictures, they like to eat good food, they go around. So these are very small things that we take for granted, but it makes a big difference on our mental health. For example, if a person is going on a vacation for at least a week or so, it is very good and empowering for their mental health to feel better for at least the next 3 months or 100 days. It leaves a profound effect. Our country is very beautiful. There are certain places where we can enjoy all four seasons, and I think it is very important in terms of education that we start schooling our kids properly about climate change, about planting more trees, about saving water, about cleanliness, about recycling. And I think these are the basic three concepts that needs to be worked on early ages in school, uh, because that makes a lot of difference. And it would one of the researches recently I was reading is that the global warming happening across the globe is one of the reasons that it is causing so much snow to melt and for us to handle floods. In spite of, we're not putting up that much of a percentage to the pollution emission, but that's one of the factors that is, hindering us in our lifestyle. But I think that it is about the little efforts that we can make and we can educate our students about, or anybody in our society about, to work on. Because that's what I have learned myself. That's what we educate in school, and that's how we empower others. And there are so many good tech companies that I just recently met an entrepreneur that is making accessories and handbags out of wrappers, out of biscuit and chips wrapper, and that was a new thing. But then they have found out a way to recycle stuff, and that's a sellable stuff. So climate psychology with education has a very profound effect, and people are trying to do good things. Um, and they are trying to make the most of it. But I think it's all about the small steps that count and how it affects our well being.
Absolutely. That's been one of the advices. We also the small step is a ripple that is really showing that you are engaging in life to create your own reality, and in so it seems like even if you engage in conversations in your family around the kitchen table and for dinners about climate and how to improve the livelihood, and in your streets and in your schoolyard and backyards, that's where we can empower ourselves. So what you're expressing is it makes me even more increase my desire to come and visit you in Pakistan. So I hope it
You
will
should, you
happen
should.
soon, and
Absolutely.
and to learn from you and to bring and to see the different seasons, and to see also the countryside, and to see the result of the flooding. Of course, they're still probably there, and it's a challenge these days, of course.
Absolutely.
And I have been to India, so I'm not. So I have been to your part of the world, so I'm not completely without understanding of the reality you face in the culture of the many. And so this thing about education, how we can connect from different uh, countries or different ecological zones on the planet, and to really learn from each other, and to bring that forward to our children and the youngsters and the youth leaders of today, and to empower them with hope. Yeah. So well, ladies, I'm telling you, I'm getting the sun
So
straight
I
into my
guess this
eyes.
is very Oh, okay. So, but this is what time is it over there?
Exactly, my friend. Thank you for asking. It's close to 2 o'clock, and I think in half an hour, in 30 minutes, 1 hour, the sun will be setting and it will be dark again. So around 3, 3, 3, 40 past 3, half 4, it will be completely dark. And this is the darkest days of the year
Oh,
before the sun is turning. And we have in the summertime, it's the sun is up the whole night. So we are like kind of
yeah.
sleepy
It's
in this
like
part.
it's a story of North.
Yeah, so it means that that's why the sun is coming into my eyes, because it's like setting, and it comes from this straight into the windows. So yeah, so I have to go
That's
back.
wonderful. Yeah. No, anyway, Faryal, as we had a very good chit chat, but I think that what the work you do is about the mental health of the women as well. So I think I
Absolutely.
believe in this that empowered women have better mental health and greater resilience and are more likely to be positive role models and encourage mental resilience in their children. I guess if I say something about me that yes, I am resilient, and yes, I am very confident. So you know what, like women entrepreneurs and women who are working, and they do care about your mental health, I guess they can perform
Absolutely.
100%. Do you agree on this?
See, the one of the holistical reason behind is that we as females know how to thrive out of different situations, keeping our emotions in check. They protect also. They protect us. They defend us. They support us as well. For males, the criteria of expressing their emotions has a lot of resistance even now at certain point, and that is one of the reasons that it is very difficult for them to express that they are having mental health issues and to cope up with them. When we talk about mental health issues, it's very important that you first express and talk about it, then you accept it, and then you acknowledge and work on it. So, for women entrepreneurs or women or females across the country or the globe, they have that practice of acknowledgement. They like to talk, they like to discuss, they recognize and identify their issues, probably triggers, or factors that is affecting their mood swings or making them sad or lonely or depressed, and then they're willing to address it, because that is where it is that is where they understand that if I do not address this properly, it will one way or the other start affecting their physical health, their emotional health, and then their mental health. And we are at one point, we are like warriors, and we need to protect and defend ourselves, and then we have to look into our families and other stuff as well. So it's very important for us to be mindful about our own mental health and well-being, so that we can take care of other people around us. So this is one of the reasons that we are more adaptable in accepting that we can work on mental health, and we acknowledge it usually.
Yes, I guess I couldn't agree more, because this is the thing that we women who are doing in the empowerment and everything has to be mentally very, very positively thinking on this one. And, the mindfulness and the holistic approach is very, very important. So I say the psychologically empowered women are self motivated. Do you agree on this one? Because I
Absolutely.
guess it is very, very important for the women who are into this field of doing women empowerment. They must themselves be motivated. Isn't it true?
Yes, it's absolutely true. They need to be very well motivated, and they're always very headstrong as well. That's
Yeah.
one of the reasons that
So,
it's easier for them to
yeah,
work on
thank
mental health.
you, Prayal, for coming over here. We are short of the time because we've been live from many hours. These two girls need a break.
Absolutely. It's
So,
no,
thank you
no,
so much for
we do
joining
have
in.
time
It
to
was
go.
really amazing.
We do have time to go overtime because we are talking these exciting conversations.
Oh my
And
my, oh my
yes,
my, the ladies
absolutely.
permitted you. So Mr. David's on top of here, and there we go. So anyhow, we are talking about women empowerment, and we are doing amazing stuff, and we are talking about holistic approaches. We're talking about mindfulness. This is amazing, ladies. You're doing amazing job. So Inka, do you have something to ask her, or should I ask her to tell what do she have some
You,
message or
you
something for the globe?
no, I like to share one thing, and then I like to bring that into a question. So this morning I was, we
Okay.
talk about transformation, and Faral Asif, that's your Asif is your last name, and Faral,
Yes,
I hope I'm saying it correct.
absolutely
Uh,
correctly. Yes.
and it's this we're talking about transformation of a
Hi,
global
thank
collective.
you for everybody for on this amazing day, and it's
David,
our sixth day, and thank you very much, Faya. I've been in the background listening, and
Thank you so
I
much.
really understand this thing about the amazing kind of aspects of kind of the importance of mental health and that essence of empowerment. Um, my own daughter went through a long period of having difficulties in that way, and that sense that she went through after over 10 years, and she came down one day and said, you know what, I'm beginning to get a sense of myself, and I think in the challenges that we face, these things are really important. And as Andrea commented earlier before, in a world where something as important as COP with over 100 speakers and there only 15 of them are women, you can get the sense that essence of empowerment is still there, still much, very far long way to go. So I'm really, really pleased to have had you here. I've been listening in the background, and I've really been motivated by what you've been saying. And
Thank you so
thank
much.
you, Inga, thank you, Sadaf, thank you, Irum. And we had this session earlier today where we joined this art group in Gothenburg, and I have made my piece of art in a short time. So everybody, please, the link to join later back to them is bit.ly/it's4you_prism. So please go to that. And for the piece of stimulation, as it is to get the reflection from, is bit.ly/is4you_prism_this. So prism this basically. So thank you very much, both you all.
Inger, sorry,
You want
Inger was asking last question, and then we'll wrap up the session for today. Yes, Inger, your question to Faryal.
Yeah. First, thank you for all the work you're doing, David. And I was this thing about I was just expressing my reflection on transformation and the happy metamorphosis that we're going through in our lives, and what I've been working with when I work with the climate education from the European level or from the Nordic level. I've been working with sustainable development goals, and then we have the inner development goals, which is also part of that inner transformation to be stronger and resilient as we move along to get the goals going. But the happy metamorphosis that we are coming together to celebrate what we can do together, and you know, the metamorphosis, that symbol for that is the caterpillar to the butterfly, and how the butterfly gets strong. And here comes this. I was thinking exactly as David was saying that this how do we react to those emotions in this when we transform, and I was feeling like, oh, I'm feeling so it's easy to attack me because I'm full of emotion, so I don't have a big protection thing around me. I suddenly come more like me. So this thing about being more seeing the more my humble side, my human side, when we enter into a place of not knowing the future, and this thing about still. So here comes my question to you at the end, Faryal. What is your advice, not only to young girls, but to young boys and young men in this context of climate change and emotional resilience? What's your perspective on that from Pakistan?
I think from Pakistan, it would be a very different perspective coming. I think it is okay for them to learn that they can cry, they can express their emotions, they can be expressive, they can say it out aloud. And once they do that, people need to understand that they have to acknowledge those emotions. Um, for example, currently I'm dealing with students, and there is a barrier where I feel that there is a lot they want to say and discuss and talk about, but they don't. And that is just a social norm. It's a barrier that we need to break. The more expressive they are, the more easier it is for them to flourish personally, professionally, academically, socially. And it is very important that you feel humble, um, or you feel you need to be a person easily approachable, even if you're traveling globally. If you're a rude person or you look like that you have a strong stance, and nobody would approach and talk to you. So I think one of the things I will tell them is it's okay for them to enjoy themselves, it's okay for them to express their emotions, it's okay for them to get involved in any kind of activities or chore or curriculum that helps them and that makes them feel better, because no curriculum, chore, work, or any place in our globe, in our world, is not bound by the gender. And that is where inclusion comes in, right? So it's very important that they feel included, and inclusion means to include everyone irrespective of any caste, creed, race, ethnicity, countries, everything, continents. And that is very where they need to understand that the global impact comes within. It starts from you. It's said that charity begins at home. So therefore, well-being and wellness and holistical well-being all starts with you. It's very important that they should be aware about their self, which can include self-awareness, self-love, self-care, self-realization, self-esteem, and that is the only thing I think they need to work on. Everything will fall in place automatically later on.
Thank you. And just to close this session for this morning, this aspect of young people being able to express themselves and to be validated in what they say. I've come to appreciate that from my own personal experience. We do have a segment called Daughters and Sons. It's meant to turn the table on aunties and uncles. So if you know of any who would like to come along, hold conversations. Essentially, we live in a world where aunties and uncles are
that would be
full of
lovely.
conversations.
I would want to engage a lot of youth
Yes.
that are, that would be a good step to initiate conversation.
We can do that. Faryal and me do that.
Yes, we can do.
I'll get connected with many of the students.
Get connected. We'd like to extend the invitation to them.
And many of the uncle and aunties as
Come
well.
along and just share their thoughts. Turn the table on the aunties and uncles. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody.
A limit to oil, gas, and coal makes me happy. This world is all we got, so we must save the planet. Save it now. Yeah.